To the United stand, it's Fulham versus Manchester United. If you're here for the match reaction, the link's in the video description. If you're here live, you're live. We're just waiting for the team news to come in. New studio, thanks to the Draughty Devil again, the genius who works for the United stand. Smash a like on the video. I hope you enjoy it. We've pimped it up a little bit. Pretty much the same sort of idea with what we've had before, but we just wanted to accentuate certain things. The starting 11 is not confirmed yet, but that's my predicted 11. You got the Fulham United below me. You've got the recent form, and obviously all the jazz bits below it. So simplistic but fantastic, I think. So yes, looking very, very good. So we're awaiting the Manchester United team news. It'll be up in the next 2 minutes. Please do smash a like and subscribe if you are new. Let's just wait and see what's going to happen with the United team news. There are conflicting reports that there may well be the thing that many of us were speaking about last night. Too many changes. There's talk that Lukaku's going to start. There's talk that McTominay might start. Jones definitely will start. Maybe even Lindelof. That would be 4 changes again. Now, last time we made 4 changes, I felt it was too many. And we drew with Burnley. So, Fulham will be up for it. They're crap, but they're up for it. It's a bit like Huddersfield-Arsenal. I expect Arsenal to win at Huddersfield because Huddersfield are crap. I expect United to beat Fulham because Fulham are crap, but we've got to be up for this game. And I think the danger is if you make too many changes. I'd be quite happy John Sherrill with Lindelof starting because I think he's an improvement on Ashley Young. McTominay starting in the midfield, that is a drop off from our normal midfield. Lukaku playing up front isn't as good as Rashford playing. So let's see what's going to happen. Brilliant graphics, says Anna Radud. Do you think Martial is going to start? Says AK301289. I think he's got to. I think he's got to start. I'd be very, very disappointed if he didn't. So I think Martial's got to start. I think that Lingard's got to start. I think Herrera's got to start. Pogba's got to start. I would be happy if Lindelof is starting. I wouldn't see that as resting a star player, although probably Ollie thinks Young is. I think that improves us. Lindelof we know is not going to start. Lukaku, obviously I would start Marcus Rashford, but it's not the end of the world if we play Lukaku. I think this is the sort of game that Lukaku scores against. You know, Lukaku's got a very good scoring record, and these are the sort of flat track teams that he can maybe score a couple of goals against. So I think, you know, maybe it's a good idea to play Lukaku in this game. But we just got to win. There's a lot of people saying 3-0, 4-1. Reality is, I'm going to go 3-1. But I think we'll be comfortable. I think we will win. You never say never in this league, though. Never say never in this league. And Draughty is in the house in the live comments, so he will be reading all the nice comments about the graphics. And, you know, obviously the most fundamental part of the graphics and the most beautiful thing is me, but everything around it is beautiful as well, and he deserves a big shout out for that. So, team news for Manchester United is about to come in. It should be coming in the next few seconds. So let's have a look. And the team, I've had an unconfirmed team that Lindelof starts with Smalling and Rashford and Mata, for fuck's sake. Oh, don't swear, you're live. I mean, does that indicate that this is his, but I don't know. It's conflicting, this is. So, De Gea in goal, Lindelof, Jones, Smalling. Fucking hell. Shaw, Herrera, Matic, Pogba, Mata, Lukaku, Martial. That's a lot of changes. I mean, I think we'll be fine. I think we will be fine. But that is a lot of changes to make for Manchester United. On the bench, you've got Bailly, Young, McTominay, Alexi, Rashford and Lingard. I mean, the only thing I would say about that is that front three of Mata, Lukaku and Martial is that his reserve front three then, and Sanchez is now part of the first team front three with Rashford and Lingard. That's an interesting thing for PSG. I don't like that back four. With Jones and Smalling. But, I mean, is that his new first team? No, because Lindelof's not there. I like Lindelof. I worry about Jones and Smalling. I would have played Eric Bailly in this game, but maybe Eric Bailly's going to play against PSG. The reality is there's nothing wrong with that team, and I think there's a lot of people in the live comments getting very, very worried. I'm going to flip that and say, look, we spoke about this during the Burnley game. He's got to rest players. He has to rest players. I think ideally he would like to have rested Pogba, Herrera and Matic today. But he's got, you know, where's Fred? Where's Pereira? They're not even on the bench. So he can't actually rest in the midfield. So he's got to rest because there isn't players good enough. But he can rest around that. And look, I think Juan Mata's been absolutely terrible this season. He's got to put in a performance today. Lukaku doesn't deserve to be wearing a United shirt. His effort when he came on last week was a disgrace. He's got to put in the effort today. Martial can be a match winner for us. That midfield three should win us the game. So I think we will win. But the players that are coming in, your Jones, your Smalling, your Delos, your Matas, your Lukakus, that's half a team. If we have what we had against Burnley, where that half a team was shit, then we're going to struggle. They've got to put in a performance today. But you look at the bench, and the bench is very strong. You've got Rashford and Lingard. They get it. So I think that we will. I think that we will be all right. But it's brave from Ollie. I think he's a brave manager, and it is brave from him. He's not afraid to rebuild the team and change the team and keep it fresh. I've been speaking to people today, and they've been saying, look, I'm a little bit worried about him because it looks like he's prioritising the PSG game, which is a bit stupid because realistically you should be prioritising the league. But you know, at the end of the day, Manchester United just need to go and win this game of football, and I think that as long as we do that at full time, we're all going to be very, very happy. I'm just changing the team for you here because obviously it's not going to be the team that we thought, but I think that's it. De Gea, Dalot, Smalling, Jones, Shaw, Matic, Herrera, Pogba, Mata, Lukaku, Martial. So let's get that saved, and then I can put it up for you. That's what she said. So desktop, Matt. Desktop save. Close that. And you will now have, in the blink of an eye, in the blink of a mere eye, we will have the correct lineup for you. Because that's what me and Drawty do. Fast. We're fast-paced here. And there it is. So you've got your confirmed team there. Dalot in goal, obviously. We got, not Dalot in goal. De Gea in goal. Dalot, which is very exciting. Smalling and Jones, Luke Shaw. Matic, Herrera, Pogba, that's where we'll win the game. And then Mata, Lukaku and Martial, they've got to perform in this game. They've got to perform. If they don't perform, then Manchester United, I think we're going to struggle. So we need those two players to perform today. And I'm sure that they will. But how are we all doing? I hope you're all doing very, very well. I'm very excited about this game. It's a game that Manchester United definitely need to win. We've had a contribution from CGS. It says, this is why we have to get rid of Mata while he's here. We are pressured to play these older players and we suffer because of it. A bit of passion there, but it is Fulham. They are crap. And I do think that even the likes of Juan Mata, who's been poor this season, Lukaku, can surely get us a result today. And hopefully Ollie's learned something from the Burnley game. But it isn't, look, I've got to be consistent. I want Ollie to be the manager, as I'm sure many of you do. But I have got to be consistent and say that, look, you can't say one thing after the Burnley game and then contradict yourself afterwards. You can't do that. So I would say that I said after the Burnley game there was too many changes were made, and I would say again that's the same. Hold on a minute. Oh yeah, no worries. I can change that. It's just one. I've just got to move it further. Yeah, it's done. All right. Cheers for that, pal. I knew it was something important if you were ringing me. All right. Sorry. Cheers, pal. Ta-ra. That's. I knew it was important to take the call because I know that he's watching in the live comments, and it was just a little alteration to the graphics. So, yeah, we're fine. Look, at the end of the day, 5 changes is the bottom line. Slow matter, says Ali. We're going to win 3-1, says Philip Anderson. I want to see that positivity. I think we will win this game today. I do think that we've made too many changes, and I'm only saying that because I said it against Burnley. I thought he made too many changes. But Ollie is obviously very, very, very much prioritising that PSG game. That's up to him. He's the manager of United. A lot of you feel that PSG game is very important. I think it's important, but I don't think it's more important than today. I think getting top 4 is more important. And I don't want to look back on this at the end of the season when we miss out on top 4 by 2 points and say we should have gone with our strongest team against Fulham because we were never going to win the Champions League. But there does seem to be, and I can only be honest with you, there does seem to be this mythical nonsense floating around, and I think it's coming from the top yet again, that if he beats PSG, they'll probably give him the job, which to me is just stupid. It really is stupid. Patrick St. Pierre says it's Fulham. If Lukaku and Mata doesn't work, we sell. And I agree with that. I think you're absolutely spot on. Remember, you can make a contribution through the $ on the bottom of the Super Chats. But I agree with Pierre there. Patrick St. Pierre, spot on. If we can't beat Fulham with those sort of players, then we've got a big problem. We've got a strong bench, says John Sherrell. If Pogba gets injured today, we are in trouble, says Callum Hack. If Pogba gets injured at any point, we're in trouble, aren't we? We have no backup in the midfield. I mean, I spoke about this last night. Where's Fred? Where's Pereira? If we need to bring a midfielder on today, you look at that bench, and that bench quite simply is Scott McTominay. You know, you can love Fred. I like Fred. I thought he was going to be a good signing, but how bad has our scouting been that a player comes in for £50 million, he's not even on the bench because Scott McTominay is considered to be a better player. That's how bad Fred is at the moment. You know, I like Fred. I want him to do well. I still believe he can do well, but we should also open our eyes up to reality. It is considered by the United coaching staff that we all like that McTominay is better than Fred, and we all have massive reservations about McTominay. But Fred's not better than him. The bench is Romero, Bay, Young, McTominay, Alexi, Rashford, Lingard. The only midfield option on that bench is Scott McTominay to cover Herrera, Matic and Pogba. So that just shows you how bad Fred is and how bad Pereira is. I mean, I think Pereira's already gone, to be honest with you. But we go with what we've got. We've got to win today. I'm not negative about that lineup. I think there is a prioritisation of the PSG game. That's up to Ollie. That really is. I do wonder about the amount of changes that he's made, but I think we'll be okay. I mean, we've not even spoken about Smalling and Jones. And MH Fam says there it's the return of the Chuckle brothers. They've been resurrected. Even the Chuckle brothers don't exist anymore. Rest in peace. One of them died last year, but they live on in the spirit of good old Jones and Smalling. I've always been a Smalling fan. And Jones and Smalling go together a bit like dog poo and a dog bag, don't they? You know, they go together very, very well. And some would say they belong in the bin. But I like Chris Smalling. I think Chris Smalling is arguably the third best. He's the best third choice centre-back in the world. Not in the world, in the Premier League. He's the best backup centre-back in the world. I think most teams would like to have Chris Smalling as their backup, not as a starter, as a backup. So I ain't got a problem with Chris Smalling. The reason Chris Smalling never became a Van Dijk or stuff like that is because his ball passing ability is terrible. But he's good in the air, he gives us that physicality, and he's quick. So I don't mind Smalling coming in if Bay needs a rest. And I would query why Bay's being rested, because he's hardly played this season, but there you go. Phil Jones terrifies me, absolutely terrifies me. He could score a hat-trick today for Fulham, or he could get an important goal for us. We never know what we're going to get with Phil Jones, despite the fact that there is a cycle, which is injury, comes back and plays well, makes a mistake, gets injured again. That's the cycle of Jones. At the moment, we're sort of in an unknown territory with Jones. He's not been injured for a while. He's not made a big mistake that's cost us a game for a while. And he hasn't played particularly well for a while, so he's not doing any of the things of the cycle of Jones. I just hope he doesn't make a mistake today. Smalling and Jones will be our downfall against quick counter-attack football. We need Bay for the aggression, to Stuart Trainer. I'm very confident we're going to win this game. I feel positive. And to be honest with you, if we win the game, we'll be sat there in a couple of hours' time saying he didn't pick his best team. We got over the line. Brilliant. And when I look at the positives of this team today, because there are always positives. Let's go with the whiteboard. You got these two, these three. That's the triangle of death. That's the Bermuda Triangle where Fulham are going to disappear. Shaw, Martial, Pogba. You get those three going down the left-hand side, you're laughing. You're absolutely laughing. We'll be absolutely fine. If you put the ball into Lukaku, he'll score the chances. And I think Herrera's going to go back and forth and Matic is going to do that. That's the strength of our team today. The triangle, the Bermuda Triangle down the left-hand side. Matic patrolling, Herrera box to box, and Lukaku, if you give him chances, he will score. The weaknesses, yep, I accept that. Smalling and Jones, a bit of a question mark there. And the right-hand side is very weak. And it's not Delow's fault. It's not Delow's fault. We've seen it game after game after game. Mata, slow. And Delow could end up getting double-teamed. And not in a U-porn way, in the fact that he could end up getting double-teamed. Nicholas P. Smalling is Jones' walking stick. He might just bail him out in this game. Lukaku in the team is terrifying. I do want to just have a quick look at how Fulham have lined up. Because if Fulham have got... I don't know loads about Fulham, other than they're not very good. But if Fulham have got any level of pace down the left-hand side, I think that's something that we need to be careful about. So they've gone with Rico, Ollie, Le Marchand, Ream, Joe Bryan, Seri, Chambers, Schürrle, Babel, Vieto, Mitrovic. So Sessegnon's on the bench. I don't know enough about Fulham to know if they've got any genuine pace on the bench. But if they have got pace on the bench, pace on the left-hand side, that could cause us problems here. Because Mata's tracking back is just like a tortoise. This is not a game for Juan Mata, let's be honest with you. And I hope he's going to prove me wrong. But Juan Mata, away from home against an energetic team, is asking for trouble. He's got no pace to cover the right back. And he's got no pace to, are we expecting Fulham to park the bus? If that's the case, then maybe that's our in. But Mata probably worries me more than anybody on that pitch. Although, Juan Mata's probably one of my favourite footballers in the world. I think he's a fantastic footballer, a fantastic person, but I do believe he's on the decline, and I think he's a weak spot today if Fulham can exploit their left-hand side. But for us, that's where we win the game. Those three are going to be key. And to be honest with you, those three and this guy, if you got those four playing well, it doesn't really matter about all this lot, because the game should be won, and I think it will. Babel is dangerous, Mark, says Ijon13. They will park the bus, says Cameron Thorne. If they park the bus, then Mata becomes more of an asset, because Mata wants a slow game. Mata wants intricate passing. Mata fails in a game that's fast-paced and energetic. Mata just is no use in that. What we want, for Mata to have a good game, you want them to park the bus, you want intricacy, and that will help Mata out. Smalling will be vital against Mitrovic, says Christopher Svensson. Lukaku is the weak spot, not Mata, says Amit Knight. You see, I don't think Lukaku is the weakness, because if you get these two further forward, which we will do if Fulham park the bus, and you whip decent crosses into the box, which we saw from Luke Shaw last week he can do, and we know that Delo can whip a cross in, if you put ball into this area for Lukaku, all right, he might put a couple and whack the Tower Bridge or the Buckingham Palace because Fulham's in London, but he will put a few in the net as well. If you can give Lukaku 5 good chances, he'll score 2 or 3. And that's what United have got to do today. Look, Lukaku's no Rashford. If you want to knock the ball into his feet, you better put your protective glasses on. But if you want to put the ball in the box and get him on the end of it, I think he'll score a couple of goals today. So Lukaku, if it keeps Rashford fit and it works, it's good. If it fails, then I don't really blame Ollie. The problem is not Ollie's, it's the wider squad. We know that as soon as you wander away from your best 11, you never know what you're going to get with United. And we don't know what we're going to get, but I do think we'll win today. Mata will get done for pace by Babel, says Davian Francis. Fulham love to attack and leave space, says Paul Robinson. I personally think that against that United team, Paul, I don't know about what you lot think, but I think if I was Fulham and I saw that team today, I wouldn't park the bus. If you look at where Man United's potential weaknesses are, the centre-backs, the right-hand side, defensively they can't hold the ball up, you don't really need to go deep and park the bus. I would actually go and have a go. I think this game could be a high-scoring game. This could be like 3-2 United. I don't see it being a 1-0 because I don't think Fulham can defend, and I don't think United... I think it'll be high. If I was Fulham, I'd have a go. It's going to be dependent on Fulham, though, isn't it? Do you think Fosu Mensah is a good replacement for Matic in the future? Says Guitar Elders. I haven't seen anything from Fosu Mensah from his last 2 loans to suggest that he will be a United player, although I would love him to do it. 2-0 United clean sheet for the Chuckle Brothers, says Matt Powell. I'll have that. Sanchez for Mata, says Douglas Fruit. Yet again, I am left confused as to why we are not playing Alexis Sanchez on the right-hand side. It is absolutely amazing. It would have been perfect for this game, but we just don't do it. We just don't do it. Answers on a postcard. I personally think it's in his contract. I mean, it would just be the perfect game on the right-hand side. You can piss off Alexi back to Chile. You're not having the left-hand side. It's Martial's. And you're crap there. Your only chance of a future at United is to play on the right. But we never play him. Never play him there. It's crazy. But I personally do think, and I've got no proof of it, I do think it's become such an oddity now that Alexis Sanchez never starts on the right-hand side. I do think it's in his contract. And I've got no evidence to suggest that, but those sort of things are in contracts, and I just find it really odd that we never, ever, ever play him on that side. And let's not forget, you could make a case today, why is Tahith Chong not starting? He was part of the squad. I would rather see Chong start than Mata, to be honest with you. I don't know what Mata offers. It's not like Juan Mata's Mr. Physical, is he? I know Tahith Chong's slight build, needs to bulk out a bit, but there's not a lot in it. I think probably Chong's a little bit stronger than Mata, but we'll see. Scoobex has just said I would have played Chong on the right as well. What happened to Lindelof, says Zach Uppama? Well, that's no shock. We knew that Lindelof was going to be rested for the PSG game today, so he didn't even travel with the United squad. Neither did Fred, and neither did Pereira. Mark's got mad skills on the keyboard. Thank you, says Kubet. Just came, what's Fulham's lineup, says Unknown Baby. I don't think anyone really cares what Fulham's lineup is, to be honest with you. I can try and get it for you. Rico, Ollie, Lamarchand, Ream, Bryan, Seri, Chambers, Schürrle, Babel, Vieto and Mitrovic is the Fulham lineup for the team for the game today. We've had a super chat from No Trash the Young. This is the kind of game where Delot has to prove himself. This is a great chance for him, says Nick Lopez. I'm really pleased that Delot's playing. Really, really pleased. I know we're only doing it to rest Ashley Young, but Ashley Young has been terrible of late, so I'm really pleased that he's playing. And Luca says, thoughts on De Gea being captain? Well, I would quite like to see him be our permanent captain. I think it makes a lot more sense than it does to have Ashley Young. Because Ashley Young, you want your captain to be one of your best performers so that they can demand respect. And Ashley Young doesn't do that. So I personally think that there's three candidates for the Manchester United captaincy. That is De Gea, Herrera or Pogba. Because they consistently perform well for United. So that's my feeling on it. But we've all got our feelings, haven't we? We've all got our motivations. But I'm very happy to see him as our captain. And I would like to see. I would love to see him continue in that vein. I really, really would. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. I've just lost you all for a moment there, but I will be back. So yes, I'm going to go 3-1 to United. I think we'll be comfortable today. And I think Ollie's going to get away with it today. I think he's made too many changes, I agree, but I think we'll get away with it. Nick Lopez, No Trash the Young. This is the kind of game where Delot has to prove himself. I've read that already. I liked it so much. And Ryan, you needed to finish that sentence because it was going to go one way or the other. It was either going to get read out or it was going to get you blocked, but you didn't finish off the line. Fulham at the Cottage is a bogey team. Hope not today, says Dan. Yeah, we've had mixed bag at Fulham, to be fair, over the years. We're going to need a good first half. We need Pogba subbed off this game as soon as possible for PSG, says Cool Hand Luke. I agree with that. I agree with you, Cool Hand Luke. I think you're absolutely spot on. But the problem is, when you look at the bench, the only midfielder who's coming on is Scott McTominay. So unless we're like 3 or 4-0 up, would you want Pogba coming off for McTominay with half an hour to go? I mean, the game could change very, very, very quickly. Jojo Joss says Jones and Smalling at the back. What the hell? And these players should be fighting to get in the PSG team, says Giles Performance. Surprised Rashford's not starting, says Nathan Myers. I'm not. I think Lukaku, if you don't play him in a game like this, when can you play him? I do sort of look at the next few games. PSG, Chelsea, Liverpool, Palace away. Maybe that's the next game where he can use some of the periphery players and rest players. But we've got 3 big games coming up, and he's got to be able to rely on his bigger squad. And against Burnley, he couldn't. So he's giving him a second chance today in a big game. We dropped 2 points against Burnley. We cannot afford to drop any more today, but if we do, it will be on the wider squad. It won't be on the first team, because that's not our first team. Jones could go into midfield to replace Pogba if we're winning, says Ryan Carroll, or he could just go to the bench and get an early flight home. Look at the tweet Douglas Costa says Zaki. Lingard for Pogba in the second half. Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. We could bring Lingard in. Why is Martial playing, says MK? Well, I posed that question. Mata and Lukaku are definitely not first choice. Martial, I presume, is. Or is he? Is Ollie's first front three now Sanchez, Rashford and Lingard, and Martial's the backup again? I mean, I hope we're not going down that road again, but I am a little bit concerned why Martial's starting when Rashford and Lingard aren't. But maybe he's just mixing it up a little bit. Paul Ince would have won the title with Fulham, says Anaban. I agree. Thoughts on Smalling starting today, Mark, says Kyle Leighton. Well, I have sort of touched on it a few minutes ago. I don't mind Smalling. He's not a first teamer. Lindelof and Bay should be our starters. But as a backup centre-back, I think Smalling's steady. I think Smalling and Jones worry me a little bit. I'd start Smalling over Jones any day of the week. I really would. So I haven't got massive problems with Chris Smalling. He has got a mistake in him, so is Phil Jones. Martial is playing because he missed a game and needs to get back into his groove, says Ace Teletti. I hope you're right. Lingard will probably be a sub for the midfield and Chong will come on for Mata. Chong won't be coming on, he's not on the bench. So that's not going to happen. Maybe Ollie has realised that Sanchez can't hug the touchline, and because Martial can, he thinks that would work better. And the early kickoff is always a tricky game. Come on, United, says LP. Dan says you should always play your strongest squad in the important games. Look, I said this after the Burnley game. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, in his limited sort of management career at Cardiff, a lot of fans got annoyed with him because he kept making too many changes. At United, we haven't really seen that, although he did it against Arsenal. He's done it against Burnley and he's done it against today. So it's, this is only game 11 anyway, and in 4 of the games he has made wholesale changes. So you could say in 40% of his games so far he has made quite a lot of changes. So it's something just to keep in your mind about Ollie. Is he a bit of a tinkerman? We'll find out over the next few months, maybe not years. Maybe he won't get the full-time job. Nicholas P. The engine in the middle is our first choice. If the parts around it fall apart, we can bolt on new parts off the bench. Admittedly, the bench is weak. And I think Nicholas has hit the nail on the head there. I think the fact that the midfield is our strongest midfield, that's where the game should be won and lost. Yeah. I thought Chong was on the bench, says Joel Merry. No, he's not on the bench. Subscribe if you're new, says Kevin. Thank you. Paul Michael Bales. All the goals and assists Sanchez has had for us have come from the right, even though he was playing on the left. Also, Woodward needs to wake up. Again, I'll repeat it. Those joining us a little bit late. I am yet again left absolutely amazed as to why we are not playing Sanchez on the right hand side, and we're playing Mata. It makes really no sense. Zahad says tinkering may cost us today. It could cost us. I don't think it will. And if it works, the tinkering obviously gives some people a little bit of a rest. Tom McBride, I love Ollie, but he's got it wrong today. I'm preparing for the worst. We'll be all right, Tom. I think we're going to win. If we lose our chance to take fourth now because of these changes, that would be a setback we don't need this month, says Darren Thurston. Look, you know what? As a manager, I've managed teams. You've probably played FIFA. Whatever. The reality is, as a manager, you've got to take responsibility when you tinker with the team. He didn't have to pick this team today. He did pick this team today. If it wins, Ollie takes the plaudits. If it loses, then he will have to take the criticism as well. It's not always going to be a bed of roses at Manchester United. It wasn't always a bed of roses for Sir Alex. At some point, things are going to go wrong. I think against Burnley, he got it wrong. I think today, I think we'll be all right. But if we don't win, then he will have to face the questions of probably going a little bit too much. Fulham's midfield is shockingly bad, says Andrew Wilkinson. I think we talk about Fred, but Jean-Michel Seri was a player I thought was going to be a really good signing for Fulham. I was quite surprised when they signed him. So, he hasn't had the best season at all. Jolly good guy says Lukaku and Mata had reasonably good games against Fulham at Old Trafford, and I expect them to play well today. Yeah, remember, even Mourinho could beat these lot, so we'll be fine. Dylan says that Mata needs to move on, just like Fabregas and Cazorla. And Paulie says that Mata is a free kick taker. Who else can take them? And if we can't win against Fulham with this team, we might as well give up. We need to rest players for the big games coming up, says Yas Sugal. And I would imagine that's the same mentality that Ollie himself has got. You can't play the same 11 every single game. Jose did it with certain players and we all criticised him for it. Let's be positive until we have reason not to be. Come on, boys, says Angetti. The midfield are very important. They are the only solid area they need to run this game. Then get Pogba a rest for Tuesday, says Joe O'Sullivan. I'm quite surprised today, actually. I mean, the midfield, I'm happy that we're playing our strongest midfield, but I'm quite surprised today as to why Fred or Pereira are not part of the squad, because surely that is an area you want to be resting. It's the fundamentals, isn't it? It's the main area. I personally think we're going to see McTominay probably starting at Stamford Bridge, which means we're going to lose. Because is he going to play Pogba, Matic and Herrera against Fulham, PSG, Chelsea and Liverpool? I can't see it. I can't see him being able to play that midfield three for those 4 games. And if Fred's not even good enough to get on the bench for Fulham, we're going to have to use McTominay at some point, aren't we? And I think that massively weakens us. But I personally, when we were linked to Barella in the January transfer window from the Serie A, I was really excited because I was like, yeah, we do need a midfielder. And you got people saying, no, we've got Fred. But Fred's nowhere near the first team. I wish we had brought a midfielder in the summer, because I think beyond, as somebody said a few minutes ago, if Pogba gets injured, if Herrera gets injured, if Matic gets injured, we are screwed in the most important part of our team. That midfield is a very good midfield at the moment, but it is also a midfield that is struggling a lot if we pick up an injury. But we'll have to wait and see. Delot, the basic stuff, should be a first team starter. I can see Delot, if he has a good game today, grabbing that position and nailing it down. And I really hope he does have a good game, because I think, Ashley Young's not a right back. Delot can grab that position, and he might be a bit divisive like Luke Shaw, but I believe in Luke Shaw and I do believe in Delot. So that's something I'm really looking forward to see. Perosa says, who else is upset? We spent 50 million on Fred and he can't make the bench. But what if he's not good enough? What if he's not doing it in training? What if McTominay's on the bench because Fred and Pereira are so disinterested? I mean, they were hugging each other. Weren't they, at the start of the season? They played well on the tour together. They were hugging each other. Everyone was like, these are the Brazilian boys. They're going to do really well. And here they are today. Neither of them are part of the squad. Do you really think one change against Chelsea will cost us the game? No chance, says Jordan James. Well, I do, actually. Depends who the one player is. If that one change against Chelsea is Tony Grant in goal, then we're going to lose. If that one change against Chelsea is McTominay for Pogba, then we're going to lose. Not definitely, but we're not going to be anywhere near the team that we should be. So one change can make a big difference, yeah. And I certainly think in the midfield area, if you're not playing Pogba, Herrera and Matic, the drop-off in ability for replacing any of those three, we saw it against Burnley. We played Pereira. It cost us the game, really. I think if you dropped Pogba for McTominay today, we'd probably lose the game. If you dropped Herrera for Fred, we'd probably lose the game. If you dropped Matic for, I don't know who the CDM is, McTominay, I think we'd lose the game. I think they are so important to us at the moment that the replacements are such a drop down in ability. Jake Bullman, I know it's Lee Grant, I do it for a joke. Let's have faith in Ollie, he's doing much better than the special one, says Tadios. I think we're going to be fine today. Famous last words, but I think we're going to be fine. Ollie lineup looks daft, says Mad Zach. We can never rest Pogba. Hopefully he can play all the games. Brazilians never work for us, says Scoobex. Yeah, we were talking about that last night, weren't we? Actually, just a bit of a shout out for the channel. Fantastic community, everybody who's joining us and getting involved. Please do smash a like on the video. More importantly, if you are new, please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. This is the United Stand, Manchester United fan channel. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. We've got Flex there doing the fan cams afterwards. We'll have my match reaction. We're live an hour before kickoff for every Manchester United game, all the way through till full time. Transfer shows, all sorts. So if you are new, click the subscribe button, get your notifications on and join the United Stand community. You won't regret it. It's a fantastic community that we've built, and you're all part of it. So thanks everyone for joining. Crypto says at least it shows he's resting Bay for PSG. Yeah, Bay and Lindelof. I mean that PSG game is very, very exciting, isn't it? But as I said last night, what concerns me about the PSG game is is Ollie and the club and some fans hyping it up too much. I've heard this. Oh, if he beats PSG, he'll get given the job. That's the sort of idiot ownership that we've got. Because if we beat PSG, but then we finish 6th and don't win the Champions League, actually, because we don't beat Fulham per se, the more important result is to beat Fulham and get top 4. You know, you can beat PSG and get knocked out the next round and not get top 4, and that's a failure. Or you can get knocked out by PSG and get top 4, and I think that's an achievement. So I hope we're not all getting our eggs in one basket against PSG. I think we can beat PSG, but even if we do beat PSG, you're probably still going to have to beat Barcelona, Juventus, maybe Man City, Real Madrid maybe, Bayern Munich. You're going to have to beat a lot of good teams to win the Champions League. Beating PSG doesn't win you the Champions League and give Ollie the job, as far as I'm concerned. It's about winning more than that. And I want us to beat PSG, and I think we can do. But in some ways, I think today is a more important victory because it's a symbol. I mean, Fulham away, of course, beating PSG is more significant. But if you beat Fulham away today, we're 4th tomorrow night. And it's FA Cup weekend. And then I think Chelsea are playing Carabao Cup after that. So Chelsea aren't overtaking us for a long time. Arsenal, I don't think they're ever going to overtake us. So we're in 4th place if we win today. And that is a massive, massive psychological blow to all those teams that we were miles and miles away. Cliff Carr says he was the 856th like on the video. Thank you. We can do both, says LDoctor69. Lukaku and Martial to score today, says Tanvir. Well, I hope that it's good to see Martial starting, and I hope that we get a good game from Martial today. Smalling deserves a start to show us what he's learned from us on the sideline, says Ben Williams. And like the video, everyone, let's get 1,000 likes before kickoff. Kickoff is in 25 minutes as a T. Matic can't take a yellow card today, says Morris. I don't know what the situation is with these yellow cards. Top 4 should be our priority, says Karan Kupar. We will beat every team, says Jervy Sunday. Mitrovic will bully Jones, says Scubex. I think Smalling will attach himself to Mitrovic, much the same as I think that Bailly would attach himself to Mitrovic if he was playing, because they're the physical players. Who would win? Muhammad Ali versus... What's that got to do with football? You know... Jones to score 1, says Atmospheric Slideshow. Good. Great. I'll be very happy with that. Sir, looks like our only goals and chances are coming through Martial. Lukaku couldn't hit a barn door with a Janbo, says Charlie Bain. Got Pogba as well. And Paruso, which would you prefer, Mark? Liverpool or Arsenal to drop points today? I personally would rather Arsenal. Yeah. I think Man City and Liverpool are going to go head to head for that title. I would like Man City to win it, but we need to build a gap. We've got to go to Arsenal at the start of March, so we need to build a gap on Arsenal. So I would like Arsenal to drop points today. Diss Track Fam says Esket T. Thank you. And what you think the score will be, says Ryan Rooney. I'm going to go 3-1, which is the same as Arpan. I'm going to go 3-1. I think, I'm going to go 3-1. I think it could be as much as 4, but I think 3-1. Lots of love from Malaysia, Mark, says Judd Raj. This is the best fan channel with the mods, says Kieran McCrory. Yeah, massive shout out to the moderators. Where Fulham are absolutely rubbish, says Nathan Myers. I couldn't have put it better myself. They average conceding over 2 goals a game at the moment. And so United need to score 2 goals minimum. And I think if we score 2 goals against Fulham, we win the game because we shouldn't be conceding 2 goals against them. I think Fulham's ceiling is 1 goal. We get the 2, we win the game. We get out of London with another 3 points. And remember, Ollie's record in London is pretty impressive, isn't it, so far? He's been to Arsenal and won. He's been to Spurs and won. Have we been anywhere else in London and won? But we've got a good record. Matter yet again, who plays like a 70-year-old granddad, says Amy Adamson. You know, maybe Mata will have a good game today. My concern about Mata, as I said, is this. He's got no pace in this area. And if they've got a quick speed down that side, Delo could find himself getting double-teamed. Fans from Malaysia, says Vincent Wong. Wherever you are, big shout out to the United Stand community. I've not said this for a while, but it's very, very true. Manchester United are a global club. We've got a global fan base, and it's great that people from all around the world get involved with the United Stand. You're all very, very welcome. And it doesn't matter where you're from, you're still part of the United family. We need a right winger as soon as possible, says Scoobex. I think that the Mata selection today does highlight that we are weak down that right-hand side. And to be honest with you, I don't think Lingard really wants to play down that side. Thoughts on the Rodri Giggs ad on Paddy Power, says Chops How. So Rodri Giggs has done some video on Paddy Power about loyalty, some loyalty scheme that they've got. Obviously sort of hinting at the fact that Ryan Giggs cheated on him with his wife. Because it's his brother, so, you know, you shouldn't really be doing that. But at the end of the day, it's the world we live in, isn't it? It's quite a funny video, to be honest. But on the other hand, you're exposing something that was obviously quite distressing for you to make money. The world we live in. The world we live in. Nicholas P says that we need Shodapu on the bench, says Nicholas P. Shodapu is the Vanarama Messi. For anybody who's not been following my Football Manager 2019 career mode, I'm doing it at Salford City. The next stream is going to be very easy, very interesting, because I've been threatened with the sack. But I've got a lad on loan from, I think he's on loan from Shodapu, QPR. He's a right winger. He's very good. Mata is quality and very composed, says Miguel Sidres. And Mata is the best free kick taker, says Don't Ban Mep 1Z. And Mata is still a decent squad player, but why the right-hand side? Play him at number 10, says Safey Flynn. Well, we don't really play a number 10, I suppose, Safey. That's the problem, isn't it? I think Mata needs to go to Spain, Luke. I really love Juan Mata. Fantastic professional and human being. And I think at his best, he was a brilliant, brilliant player. But what is clear to me this season is that he's too slow for the Premier League now. And that when you play him on the right-hand side, it makes us weak down that side. Lee Williams says beating Fulham should be like taking candy from a baby. Do you think we could have a title shot if we got rid of Jose earlier, says Phantom Comics? If we got rid of him in the summer, I don't think United can win a title with this squad, even with Ollie as the manager. I do expect us to lose games between now and May. I don't think that we can... Well, we can, actually, but you look at the fixtures... I think we will lose a game at some point because I don't actually think this squad... I think if you picked this squad to rest players against an Everton or a Spurs, we would lose. I think you've got to pick your best team against most of the league for United to win, and that's what Ollie's been doing. I think against the bottom teams, maybe the bottom 4 or 5, he will gamble and make the changes and rest people because he's got to do that, and that's what he's doing today. As I said, he can't rest people against PSG. He can't rest people against Chelsea. He can't rest people against Liverpool. They're big, important games for us. Fulham is the game where really he's got to look at resting people, and he's done that. But the concern is, can you rely on those players? But no, I don't think this squad is a title-winning team. I think it needs renovation, definitely. At least 3 players. I'm a huge Milan fan, and for some reason United is starting to grow on me, says Luca Calicchio. Yeah, well, that's probably because of the United Stand community, so you're welcome. Start supporting United and you'll never look back. Your thoughts about Federico Chiesa, says Moses. He's an option down the right-hand side. I have a fear about Italian players, though. I think the Premier League is littered with Italian Serie A players who've got good reputations who just don't live up to it in the Premier League because it's quicker. I think that will change in the future because the Serie A is starting to get quicker, but it's traditionally been a lot slower than our league. So Chiesa's good, but I do worry about him a little bit, if I'm honest. I'd much rather we went for somebody like a Steven Bergwijn from PSV, or a Lozano, or a Pepe, or a Leon Bailey. That's the sort of player that I would go with. The Machine 94 says, love the new setup, Mark. Yes, it is a new watch-along setup. I hope you do like it. Please do smash a like if you do. Make sure you subscribe. Yeah, fantastic work by the Draw Teat Devil. Salah was from Serie A, says Steve Boy Yates. Yeah, but he's not Italian, is he? Listen to what I said. And also, Salah wasn't cultivated in Serie A either. He went there via Chelsea, didn't he? So look, there are exceptions to the rule, but I did specifically say Italian players from Serie A who were groomed in Serie A and have never played anywhere else. No movement up front again, says Robbie Stones. And Hemrej Bat is back. He says, I've missed the channel. I don't know where he's been. Wow, you would rather go to Holland than Italy, says Jack C 1992. I think actually when you look at it, the amount of Dutch players that do well in the Premier League compared to the Italian players, I think you'll see that I'm proved right. So remove your wow and face up to facts. Yes, Memphis didn't work out, but actually, traditionally, more Dutch players do well in the Premier League than Italian. It's proven. It's facts. Douglas Costa has liked a post United wanting him. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit tomorrow, but Douglas Costa would be a decent option, and Ollie did talk about more experienced players, so maybe they're looking at that. What do you think? I've already done that, Elliot Codway. Do you think United keeping Ollie to avoid spending, says Chops How? I think Ollie said something very interesting yesterday, where he was talking about it's not necessarily about buying players, it's about the right players and developing what we've got. I think that would be music to Woodward's ears because he doesn't have to spend much. So I've said this before. I like Ollie. I want him to be the manager, but I don't want him to be the manager if he's just going to just take it at any cost to get the manager's job. He's got to. It's not beneficial for Manchester United for Ollie to take the job just because he's desperate to take the job. He's got to take the job knowing that he needs money. He can't just say, well, I'll take the job because I want it so desperately because it's so important to me. He's got to take the job knowing what's best for Manchester United, and we do need to spend money. The UK is always a hard adjustment for players from Italy, yet the French sometimes get it right, says Theo Catman. There's no guarantees with any player. You can sign Lukaku from Everton and say, he's going to score loads of goals and be great for us. It's not quite gone that way. He did score a lot of goals, but he's not the player a lot of people thought he was going to be. So there's always a risk. Shout out to the United stands, Man Like Mark, all the way from Africa. Big up, and I'm going 4-1. Thank you, Amos Sanganani Tizarur. I've just realised something. Okay, that's absolutely fine. So yeah, we're about 15 minutes away from kickoff at the moment. And I'm going to go 3-1 Manchester United. I'm having a bit of a problem here, folks. This is not what we want when I'm live. Lots of love from Italy, Mark, says Lawrence Anaman. Thank you. Declan Rice is crap, says the next big thing. And this is where you get tested, says Farhad Amon. De Gea captain, says Lil TV. Lots of people saying rest in peace, cadets. Yes, sadly died in the early hours of the morning I think he was in a taxi, wasn't he? It was a car crash. Very, very sad. If you're into that sort of music, well, it's very sad in general, isn't it? But yep, a lot of people saying that, so I'll give that a shout out. What the fuck is going on here? Sorry to swear, but I get really annoyed when things work absolutely fine, and then when you're live, they decide to quite literally mess you up. So, Peter Rabbit. Okay, come on, please work this time. It ain't gonna work, is it? Come on. Oh, come on. I'm trying to get Mad Marcus on, basically, but I can't open it up. So, let's have a look. Oh, God. Please work. Please work. That's not going to work. Right. Sorry about this, folks. We're obviously just about to go live. We are live, sorry. The wonders of live TV. I don't have a whole production crew behind me, so I could crush a grape. I really, really could. It really winds me up. I mean, why does a system work all the time, and then when you're live, you try and open it and it won't do it? And I know what it wants me to do. It wants me to shut the computer down and start it again, and then it'll work. But if I do that, then it will end the stream, so I can't do that. Imrano TV, did you hear about that fire that killed over 10 Flamingo youth players? No, I didn't. That's very, very sad. Thanks for that contribution. But yeah, I didn't know that. Nathan Kumar, thank you. Fuck off. You can fuck right off. There you go. That's your reply. Fulham have so weird team. We should win this, says Milan Silanovic. And was busy with... Hanridge was... Okay. Matic needs rest. Can't get a yellow today. Otherwise he's suspended against Liverpool, says Morris. I didn't realise that. That's absolutely... Yeah, that's very important then. If that's true, we don't want that to happen. Jones and Lukaku and the same team. What a joke, says Avash. It's a risk, but I think that risk will be rewarded. And none in the lineup seems comfortable playing in the right attacking side, and it looks almost experimental on that right hand side, says Aaron Andre, hoping to bring some players from the French league. And can I be a mod, says Anaban. That's not down to me. Pink boots will score an own goal to celebrate his new contract, says Cantona. He never wears the pink boots anymore, does he? He never wears the pink boots. I think I've seen him wear white and sometimes black, but he don't wear the pink boots anymore. So it's interesting. But new contract for Phil Jones, straight into the team today. You know what? It would be absolutely unbelievable if he did something bad today. Imagine if Phil Jones cost us the game today. It doesn't even bear thinking about. So yeah, we need him to perform and put in a good result. And I am going to go 3-1 to United. Okay. 3-1. I hate this. I hate being live when I'm in the groove and I'm having to sort out technical issues. So, right, let's try this. Motherfucker. So get us your score predictions in the live comments. Give us your thoughts. Hi mate, can you hear me?
Hi bud, you alright?
Yeah, not too bad. I don't know what's going on with that today. It's really annoying, but we can do it this way. It'll be fine. Actually, it'll probably work okay, to be fair. So what's your thoughts on the team news?
I'm not that happy, to be honest. I think it's... I understand he's got to rotate it and give everyone a chance, but you know, the third boys as centre-back, not very good, not very reliable. Delo down the right-hand side. I don't think he's going to get much cover from Mata, so I don't expect Delo to get forward too often. And then you've got Lukaku up front, mate, who doesn't really do anything. So slightly negative for me, but if these boys can't pull it off against Fulham, then where do they fit in the team, like long-term future-wise? So it's a big opportunity for them today, I think.
It's interesting because I'm just watching Lukaku do some dribbling there, and it takes him about 10 seconds to get moving. And yeah. I watched him at Old Trafford at the Palace game as well. I'm in awe of the guy because he scores so many goals, but he just never looks like he's in control of a football, even when he's dribbling it, when he's walking, like he just was there on the telly. I just think he's such a terrible footballer, but I got to applaud him. He does score a lot of goals, and I think he'll do well today. Harold Holst Svensfeld says PSG, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City coming up. Need to win as cheap as possible, and what choices does he have? Save player here, win against Liverpool and Man City. And I think that's a very good point. I think that's what he's trying to do today, isn't he? He's trying to sort of give people a bit of a rest. But But we all, as we saw against Burnley, and as we've seen before, even going back to the Mourinho days, it's a risk with this squad because you never know what you're going to get.
Well, exactly. I mean, we've been seeing Mata throughout the season, not up to his usual standard. Like you always said, he wears the number 8 for a reason. He's Mr. Consistent. But this season, his performances have just not been up to par with what we've seen in the past. So, Delot, I think it's a good opportunity for Delot down that right-hand side, but we know that Delot likes to get forward. And I was talking to Paul, the moderator, in the live comments earlier. Delot likes to get forward. He's an attacking fullback, and is he going to get that opportunity to get forward today? I'm not so sure because I don't think Mata's going to cover as
We ain't got the speed to cover, has he?
Well, no, exactly. This is the thing, and we know that where's the crosses going to come from today as well? I mean, usually it's Ashley Young down the right-hand side, so it's a positive he's not playing, but with Mata in front of him, is Delot going to be able to get forward enough and put that ball into the box? Because we know he's got a decent cross on him as well. Smalling and Jones at the back, absolutely terrible, but again, he could have afforded to play Bailey, because Bailey's had quite a bit of time off this season. He's only just come back into the team as well. Yeah. So he could have gone with Bailey and Smalling today. I don't think there was a particular need to play Jones. And Lukaku up front, which is a logical change because I did see Ollie earlier say that Rashford's got a slight dead leg. So that's quite understandable that he's gone for Lukaku up there instead of Rashford today.
Yeah, I don't rate Lukaku. I don't think many people do, but I do agree with the fact that if you can't play Lukaku against Fulham, we may as well just get rid of him now.
Yeah.
Vihan Sharma says the new setup looks awesome. Can you also put the bench on the screen? I always open up the video lineup on match day, but end up googling for the bench. Yeah, I think Drawty should be able to sort that out, but. Thanks for the feedback. And Fulham will target Delot and Mata, says Paul Robinson. Yeah, we were talking about that about half an hour ago, actually. I was saying that if I was Fulham, I wouldn't park the bus against this team. You'd see Smalling and Jones, you can get at them. You see Mata on the right-hand side. You see an inexperienced right-back, you can get at them there. We've given Fulham a bit of hope, and hopefully, maybe that's a bit of reverse psychology from Ollie, because maybe he's like, if I would go with my strongest team, they're just going to park the bus, but maybe they might be encouraged to come out and have a go a little bit, and that can work to our advantage. So
it could do, yeah. I mean, we've seen with Lingard, Rashford, and Martial, the pace on the counter attack is quite blistering. But with this, if this team's going to counter attack, then they need Lukaku to stay as far forward as they can. But the right hand side is considerably unbalanced compared to the left. So I would fancy a lot of our attacks today to come down the left-hand side, because I don't think, as I said just now, I don't think Delot is going to get many opportunities to overlap with Mata down that right-hand side. And we know that Luke Shaw likes to overlap with Martial. We've seen it in recent weeks. We saw that ball he could put into the box to get it on Rashford's head the other week. So I think the left-hand side is going to play a major, major part in our play today.
Well, Dave Eccles makes a good point. He says, will Mata actually play wide right or play as a false nine with Martial and Lukaku as split strikers? We could do that, Dave, but ultimately, who's going to track back and cover Delot? If you play with two up front with Mata as a 10, somebody's still got to cover that right and left-hand side. And I think away from home, Martial will be covering Shaw and Mata will be covering Delot. And look, Ollie's going to make mistakes. Sir Alex Ferguson made mistakes. And I'm not saying that today's selection is a mistake, but I do think that Juan Mata on the right-hand side, I saw it on the opening day of the season against Leicester. We saw it against Brighton. We saw it against Burnley. Whenever Mata plays, the left-hand side tend to have a good game of the opposition. And today, hopefully, we'll learn from that mistake. And Mata's a very, very experienced player. He's got brilliant achievements in his career. We probably play him quite good money. You can't just ignore him for 5 months until the summer. We want to sign him. They're trying to get him to sign a new contract. I mean, personally, I would let him go. I don't see what his future is at United. But this is a player that they want to stay, so they're going to use him. And we can have our opinions on it, but they're going to use him. And today, I hope he can get back to the old Mata.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's for our. I don't want to use the word because they're not really fringe players, but as part of the wider squad, we got to see if these backup players, fringe players, are good enough. Can they? If they don't put in performances against teams that are in the bottom of the league? I mean, what are Fulham, second from bottom? I think they are.
Yeah, I think they're like 7 points adrift as well.
Yeah, I mean the defence. Fulham's defence is an absolute joke. So you would think with Lukaku's experience, he scores goals against the lesser teams for fun. And you would fancy him to get a couple today, to be honest. But if he doesn't, then I think his future would be in major, major doubt for Manchester United.
Okay.
So it looks like Fulham are lining up as a 4-4-2.
Yeah. I mean, Fulham are a bad team. And to be honest with you, I do agree with everybody who's a little bit concerned. There's an element of me, I'm a little bit concerned as well. But they're a poor team, and even with Lukaku and Jones and Mata, there's no excuses. Those players are still, if you offered Fulham Lukaku or Mata or Jones, they'd absolutely come in their pants. They'd be absolutely ecstatic with it. So, they should still be good enough. And actually, as I said before, if I just use the white pen, that's where this game's won and lost. It's the triangle. The Bermuda Triangle of Shaw, Pogba and Martial. If they play well, the game's done. And our midfield is very strong as well. Tito the Fool says, Manchester is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Marky, shout me out. It's my birthday. Tito from LA. Come on, United. Well, there's happy birthday, Tito. And I think you're right. With United, you never know what you're going to get when you start using the fringe. I think we never knew what we were going to get under Mourinho. I think under Ollie, when he picks his best 11, I think we know we're going to get a good performance. As soon as he starts making changes, it's into the unknown. Lewis Thorpe Aiken, thanks for the contribution. Would you take Martin O'Neill and Roy Keane? Mick O'Sullivan? No. And Jones will get man of the match, as David Maxwell. Well, new contract yesterday, Marcus, starting for United today. So big responsibility for him. It should be the perfect game for him. I mean, they're not a very good team.
This should be a pretty much straightforward win for United. It really should. I mean, the golf in class, the quality of the players, the way United are playing at the minute under Ollie as well. I mean, everything is just going right for Manchester United at the minute. But you never underestimate the lesser teams. I'm a great believer in the lesser teams cause the most problems because they're the ones who are more organised defensively because they're quite happy with a point. And like you said earlier, if you're Ranieri and you see that Manchester United team, you think, well, maybe we can nick this. We're at home as well. I mean, Ryan Babel, we know about him, of course, being in the Premier League. Schürrle, Mitrovic. Yeah. I mean, they're not the worst players, but they can cause a problem.
It's not everybody's day because George Jones is captain Rashford for his fantasy football team. Unlucky. Twally says, man like Mark, you never shout me out. Just let me know when it kicks off for you, Marcus.
It is off now, yeah. Literally,
just. What second are you on? Let me know when it says.
I'm just waiting for it to come up, yeah. So the low going down the right-hand side, he's just got a free kick.
Yeah, I'm level with you. Okay, so we're up and running and you should have your timer there. I mean, the game's just kicked off. What I would say as well is...
20 seconds.
Yeah. What I would say is that this is a massive opportunity for Manchester United. If we win this game, we're going to be fourth. And that's the most important. I like the Fulham ground as well. It's really old school with the little cottage in the corner. Thanks for the contribution, Mr. Hose. Mata with the free kick early. And I tell you what, it only needed a little touch and we would have been 1-0 up there. So now it's Fulham.
I think that was a great opportunity for Pogba, I think it was, who it was aimed at. But Fulham were on the counter-attack. Down our left-hand side, Smalling's been pulled out. Ball
it's
over.
A good ball,
top.
That is.
Herrera.
Should have been 1-0. Bloody hell.
It should have been 1-0 there, yeah.
What a chance for Fulham. So the free kick broke. Schürrle down the right. He's getting the crowd up. It was Herrera's header that actually caused it. And then he found himself, because Jones and Smalling were further up the pitch. The lack of pace from Matic again is abundantly clear. Look at how slow he is. And then the ball comes over. It's a lovely ball by Schürrle. And That's just a bad finish on the back post. He's 6 yards out. Literally, Vieto doesn't even test De Gea. Lovely. How's it Shaw's fault, Tim Hobby? I love how people have agendas against player and he immediately say it's that player's fault. It's Herrera's fault. And we all love Herrera. So, it's just a mistake. I'm not, it's one of those things.
I think that was Fellaini's fault, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm going to blame Phil Jones. Where was he? Going up for a corner, trying to get glory. Get back.
But, great opening first minute for the game. United had an opportunity. Fulham with an opportunity. Pogba just took one in the back there. Free kick to United. So good open game so far. So this should be quite entertaining.
Don't tinker with the winning team.
Which is strange normally for an early kickoff. Oh, come on.
Well, United need to keep their tempo up today. They really do. Raymond says you've got an agenda against Jones, Mark. Yeah, I do. He's crap. I haven't got an agenda. I just think he's crap. I don't need to have an agenda. I think he's crap. I think most of the world think he's crap, and it's evidenced through the cycle of Phil Jones. I just hope he has a good game today, because if he costs us points today, I'm going to cry, because we've just given him a 5-year contract. So he better have a bloody good game.
I think Matic is going to be in trouble here. When you're getting beat to the ball and outpaced by Schürrle on that right-hand side, and Matic can't keep up with him, I think that could cause us a bit of a problem today.
There's someone at the door. Don't know. Who could it be? There's somebody at the door.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's my lube.
Another parcel, Mark?
Might be more lube.
I think Seb's telling you there's someone at the door.
Yeah. Smalling's just gone over there. God, Smalling's got rubbish hair again as well. I don't like Smalling with hair like that.
Cause a problem as well.
Fulham have started off really well. They're on the attack here again. Vieto, decent cross. Whoa! Oh! Bloody hell.
I mean, they've had 3 opportunities already, and we're just coming up to the 4th minute.
Sure, at that time.
United's back 4, all at sea here at the minute. Great bit of interplay on the left-hand side between the Fulham players.
What's Smalling doing there? Getting bullied by Mitrovic on the back post.
Yeah, I mean, Schürrle, to be honest, should be hitting the target from there.
Matic with the mistake, and then, wow.
I mean, Smalling, look, I mean, this is what I don't like about Smalling. He's all hands. All hands. And the way the referees are these days, it wouldn't surprise me if Fulham get a penalty today.
Well, let's be fair to Smalling. I know you're not a big fan of him, but let's be fair to Smalling for a moment. He is, he hasn't played in ages as well. So not only are you putting Smalling with Phil Jones, you put in Smalling, who's had no game time away from home against a team that's going to be fighting for their lives. It is a risk. It is a risk. United haven't settled into this game yet.
And considering the match between City and Chelsea, you would have thought United would have started the game on the front foot, but it's for the last 3 or 4 minutes, it's all Fulham.
Yeah, we're looking a bit like Phil Jones. Oh, it's a throw-in. Who gives a fuck, Phil? Just bloody get on with the game.
You could have actually booted that away instead of just headering it out.
Yeah, we've started really lethargic, and I don't get it. This is what worries me when these players come into the team. They should be pumped up. You're not going to play against PSG, but you could start to build your way back into the first team. Get yourselves up. We just look a little bit flat-footed, as Sally Devil Red 7. It's been a poor start so far.
Well, Fulham working it down our left-hand side.
Well, it's us parking the bus at the moment. Fulham are definitely going to go for it.
Yeah.
Goal kick.
But this could be quite an entertaining game this afternoon. Very open at the minute. I mean, it's all Fulham attacking. I think the wind may cause a bit of problem as well, because it's quite gusty down there in London today.
Well, Nathan Gillickson's got it spot on tactically. He says Fulham are pressing really high up the pitch, and it's giving them chances high up the field. It's logics. It's simple. It's 2 + 2 is 4. Quick maths. It is. They are pressing us because, you know what? I said this. as soon as the team news came out, we were talking. We always go live an hour before the game, and I was talking about this and saying that if I was Fulham, I would change my tactics and I would press, because where's United's weakness? You see there, Delo.
Yeah.
But if you press Smalling and Jones, they're crap on the ball. If you press Matic, he's slow. So we're weak through Jones. Well, let's get the pen out. This is where we're weak. This triangle here. That triangle is weak, and we are pressing that triangle. So that's what's happening at the moment. You've got Lindelof in your back four. You're probably not going to press him because he'll pass past you. But we haven't got anyone to do that in the back two, so you can press them knowing that they're either going to boot the ball and give it you back, or they might make a mistake. We've still got the quality to win this game.
Trying to press on the front.
Here we go.
So we're
Come
in
on.
here 2-1.
Martial,
Pogba.
Pogba.
Oh, it's under his feet.
I think Martial should have gone it alone there.
Great tackle, Luke Shaw. No way, ref. No way is that
Come
foul.
on.
No way. Luke Shaw, fantastic tackle on the left-hand side. Just stood his ground, and he's been penalised for it.
Yeah, to be fair, that was good build-up play by Martial. I think it just got stuck under Pogba's feet a bit. Mistake by Fulham. Martial ends up running at the back four and tries to get it into Pogba. It gets stuck under his feet. But United's first little sniff, and it came from a Fulham mistake. And they made another mistake here. So United just need to start getting hold of the ball. I think we've ridden a bit of a storm for the first 5 minutes. And start getting on the ball a bit. But I do worry about Jones and Smalling's inability to pass the ball out from the back. And that's why we're getting pressed a little bit. That's what you lose when you lose Lindelof. Go on, there's a ball there.
Martial's free. Just toss it in there. Lukaku's a bit too high. Bit too high. But you can see already the game plan. Nothing is coming down our right-hand side. The wing play is coming from the left.
Well, that's where we're going to win it, isn't it? You've got to use the left-hand side. Shaw bombing on. Martial works with him. Pogba. Yeah. That's the triangle.
It's the most consistent, isn't it? That's the thing. It's the most consistent two players for our team at the minute. Martial and Luke Shaw. They've got a really good understanding down that left-hand side in the last few weeks.
I agree with you, though. I don't think this is going to be... I hope it is plain sailing, but I think it's going to be a match. Like, I think we've got enough weaknesses in our team to encourage Fulham. I think I said this. I think it could be like a 3-2 or something like that. And as long as we win, I'll be happy, because it is a risk playing some of these players. But if we get out of it with a win, we can't really complain because we've rested some others. But I think Fulham have got an opportunity here to get something out of it, and I think we've got to open the game up and be clever with the ball as well, because we've got the quality.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
this is where you're a mess. Look at this. What are we doing here? Jones trying to bloody do triangles with Matic, and he gives him a shit ball.
Martial give him go with Pogba.
Yeah.
He's kept it in. That's
our ball.
Surely. Right.
Martial never wins those 50-50s. Like, the ref never gives it him. Love the channel, Mark. How do you think the likes of Di Maria, RVP or Falcao would get on under Ollie? I think Falcao was finished. I think Di Maria was weak, and I think Van Persie was a brilliant legend of the club. So I think Van Persie would do well, but the other two wouldn't. It's a bit scrappy, isn't it?
I think Di Maria would have done well. I thought he started his United career off quite well, his first 7 or 8 games. But he's not set the world on fire at PSG. He's a weak mentality player. On his days, very, very good, but he's not a consistent performer because he's got a weak mentality. But that's what the Premier League does, isn't it? It toughens you up over time. So maybe he could have come good in the second season.
See, I know a lot of people call him a snake because of how he left. I always call him a snake because he's spineless. I think he's a weak player. I think he's got all the talent in the world, but he's not consistent. Anyway, United are doing a lot of passing around the back four, and it gets your heart rate going because it's Smalling and Jones. Doing a lot of long ball. I mean, the other thing is a lot of what we've not discussed actually, and it's a very good point, is we've made so many changes. How can there be any fluidity? These players don't play together, so it's not. You can moan about Ashley Young but when we play Lingard, Martial, and Rashford, they're used to playing together. When you play Mata, Lukaku, and Martial, they're not used to playing together. Delo and Mata are not used to playing together. Jones and Smalling are not used together. Matic isn't used to having Jones and Smalling behind him. So there's a lot of change there today that's going to make us disjointed by its very nature.
But there are positives as well. I mean, it's still the midfield three that we like, that's trusted. Delo given an opportunity today as well. And De Gea as captain as well. So there are a few positives to take from the team selection. I think Matic has just caught one in the knee there. Bit of a high foot by Schürrle, I think it was. Yeah, Matic is down, holding his knee.
Well, we cannot afford an injury to Matic, Herrera or Pogba. I personally think it would be season over because we haven't got the depth. I mean, no Fred, no Pereira today. They consider McTominay better than him. Smalling's turned into Jason Lee at the back, says Nicholas P. Yeah, he's got a Jason Lee haircut.
Oh yeah, that looked nasty, but it's accidental, totally. Both going for the ball.
Seb's not happy that Jones is playing. I've tried to calm him down. He's not happy. He's just going, no. He'll be all right, mate. We'll get the 3 points.
Barbel's got it on the left-hand side. I think this is where Fulham are going to be the most dangerous down our right.
Well, Mata's not been in the game yet, has he? 12 minutes. I don't think we've seen Mata yet.
No, everything just seems to be bypassing him or going down the left-hand side. Poor pass there by Fulham. And Jones is
just going back to the keeper all the time. There's no... I've noticed that 3 times. I don't know whether people at home... Phil Jones is shitting himself in this game. He's like, every time he gets the ball, he's passing it to De Gea, who's hitting a long ball. And that's not what we've been doing under Ollie. We've been splitting our centre-backs and playing out from the back. So we're changing our...
Chasing down by Pogba.
Yeah, we're changing our philosophy because Phil Jones hasn't got the confidence to play out from the back. And Smalling can't play out from the back. I'm not even going to criticise him about that. He cannot. Phil Jones has got to get his foot on the ball and start playing out from the back. Again, he's going to go back to De Gea here, look. No, he's turned the right way there. Fair play. Start doing a bit more of that, Phil. See, and we do that, and we have an attack.
1-on-1.
Martial.
Oh. Go on, Luke. Grab it. Herrera. Yes.
Go on, pass it into Mata.
That's what I like about Herrera at the minute, doing the donkey work.
Pogba.
1-0.
It's in! Get in! 1-0. Pogba does the keeper with his eyes. Have some of that. Lovely ball by Martial. I think the keeper thinks that Pogba's going to cross it, and he doesn't. He just smashes it home. I would love to see this back again. Pogba there, but it's Martial and Shaw who work hard. Then Herrera nips in, plays it into Martial, and then who plays it into Pogba, who's onside. You think he's going to cross it, and he just smashes it. Well, it's poor goalkeeping at the front post, but it's clever play by Pogba. And that's a crucial goal for United because I'd say it's been at least... Well, it's a lovely finish. That's world class. That's world class from Pogba. Just goes for it. Keeper thinks he's going to cross. It's absolutely stunning, isn't it? It's absolutely stunning.
I mean, the goalkeeper... he's like you said there, he thinks he's going to cross it, but he's gone near post. But the goalie should have his angles covered there at the near post. But he doesn't even raise an arm to try and get near it. The pace of the ball just absolutely flies past him.
And that's the quality we're talking about in this game. That's the difference in this game. It's like Fulham have had a couple of chances, but we haven't really. That's not even a chance. That's a goal out of nothing. You think that's going to be a cross, and Pogba absolutely brilliant.
What a start by United. They weathered the storm.
Yeah, get in front. That's what big teams do away from home. You're going to have to weather storms, and the qualities come through.
Yep, so hopefully now this will play even more to our advantage now because Fulham need the points, so they've got to come out and play a bit more attacking, a bit more adventurous than what they've done in the first 15 minutes.
To be honest with you, I know there's a lot of people criticising the goalie there for Fulham, and yeah, of course you should never get beat at your front post, but the way he whips it without even thinking, it's it's right in between the post. You've got to be a very, very good goalkeeper, and obviously Fulham are not going to have a goalkeeper of that quality. I don't think that would be somebody of De Gea's quality, but he's hit it so sweet. It's hard
Perfect
to
arrow shot right across him at the near post. But Phil Jones making an absolute balls up there.
This is the problem. You got Phil Jones on the team. You got a chance.
Mitrovic was nearly in there from a mistake. De Gea's down injured.
Well, that's on Phil Jones if he's injured.
He'll be all right. Mitrovic has just run across him.
It's Phil Jones again.
This is worrying. You don't often see De Gea down. Come on, Dave, get up. We need you most of all.
Bit of a concern about De Gea at the moment.
But seeing the goal back, I mean, Martial does well.
Yeah, because he initially loses it, but fights to get it back.
Yeah.
Nice little
Herrera
ball into Pogba.
Yeah, look at that. I mean,
it's a lovely finish because it's right in the post.
Finish. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see the goalkeeper was ready to dive to his left there.
Yeah.
He's expecting the cross. So he's wrong-footed the goalie. He's gives the goalkeeper the eyes and arrowed it right in the top corner.
1-0 Manchester United.
Yeah.
Paul Pogba, 12th goal of the season.
Yeah. So he scored 7 in his last 8 now.
And the score's been changed for you as well. There we go. I'd forgotten about that. Well, I would like. Was that because of a Phil Jones mistake then? Thank you, Pogba, for not passing it to Lukaku, says Shantan Adar. To be honest with you, I think Pogba probably would have crossed it if it had been Rashford, but because it's Lukaku, he's like, it's a waste. It's a dead ball. I'm going to shoot.
Yeah, Lukaku and Mata not really been involved so far. Smalling, what the hell was that? Yeah, Lukaku and Mata have been very, very quiet.
What an angle, says Brindley. Yeah, the finish from Pogba. I mean, look, a top-class keeper should not be getting beat from there, but I think that's the thing. It's a Fulham goalkeeper, isn't it? If that was De Gea, I think we'd be furious, but you can't criticise Pogba because he's hit it absolutely perfectly, right in off the post from that angle. Magnificent.
I just see Herrera having a go at Pogba there. Lukaku, sorry, telling him to chase it down. Good to see. The Fulham are definitely getting no joy down our right-hand side and switching the play quite well to the left. Luke Shaw tracking.
Well, it's a very, very satisfying first 20 minutes for United, this, because Fulham, I wouldn't say they've been all over us. They've started off energetically. They've got a game plan, and I agree with that game plan, is to press our back four. But that bit of quality that you want from your quality players, that's the difference between Fulham and Manchester United. We've got the better players. So that bit of quality from Martial and Herrera to win it back and Pogba to finish it, that's the difference. And that's why you pay £90 million for a midfielder. Fulham can't afford to do that. And you know, they can't afford to have De Gea in goal. So there is that potential weakness. So a good start from United to be 1-0 up. Martial and Pogba saved Mourinho. Now they're saving Ollie's selection of a team tired of the Deadwood FC, says Sean Atwood. # Martial FC. It's not over yet. It's not over yet, but to me, I would just take 1-0, Marcus. I would take this right now. I just want 3 points today.
Yeah, I think, like I said, with the fixtures over the weekend, you got Arsenal against Bournemouth, haven't you? So you think that's 3 points. And then, of course, you got, the big one over the weekend, City against Chelsea. So I think for me, the players that have come in have not really been involved in this game at all at the minute. Smalling and Jones have been suspect at the back, as we know, and as they always are. They played a couple of passes that have been wayward and put Delo into trouble. Lukaku not been involved.
Well, all our good players coming down the left, isn't it? Because here's Martial again. Yeah. It's Shaw, it's Pogba, it's Herrera, and it's Martial.
Well, Delo going at Barbel there.
I mean, I think it was Paul Roberts was just saying there that Mitrovic is bullying Jones and Smalling at the moment, which is something to keep an eye on.
Oh.
Phil Jones, play on.
I've got to say, Jones just took a hefty tackle there.
Don't be injured, Phil.
Absolutely went flying. Surely that's a yellow for the Fulham lad.
CGS, Mata and Lukaku's attitude shocking. Should never play again. Should be getting rid of these players, not rewarding them with new contracts. I don't know whether I've picked up on the fact that they're their attitudes are shocking. I don't think you could ever say that Juan Mata's attitude is shocking because he's such a brilliant professional. I don't think he's up to it at the moment. I don't think he's been up to it all season. Oh God, Smalling. That's it. Just get rid of it.
I think with Mata, a slower paced league would suit him better now. Italy, Spain. I think.
See, even there, he's got a good first touch, but players are on him too quick.
Yeah. I mean, he's too predictable. You know where he's going straight away. But Matic running forward.
Hit it. Oh, I'm looking.
Good to see a driving run.
Well,
there,
Fulham are putting in a lot of effort at the moment.
They are, yeah. I don't fancy them to keep it up for the 90 minutes. And you would think that would play into United hands in the last 20. I mean, you look what we got on the bench: Rashford, Lingard, Sanchez. Rashford and Lingard, pace, explosive players. Fulham trying to feel a way back into the game. United set up very, very comfortably. They've dropped quite deep as well. As soon as Fulham get the ball in our half, Lukaku's just outside the centre circle. Mata.
Sorry, I had the wrong team up there. Somebody's just let me know the link in the video description.
Yeah. So Pogba driving, running through. Is that Martial? He's through. It's 2.
Yeah! Come on! That's the quality. That's the ability. That's Martial. That's Manchester United. This is what we spoke about. I love it when I'm right. I love it when I'm right. It's the Bermuda Triangle. It's Pogba, it's Martial, it's Shaw. That's going to win us the game today. Don't worry about this crap here or what's going on here. It's these three. It's the Bermuda Triangle. And it's a mistake by Fulham. It's well won. Again, it's Herrera, it's Matic. It's into Martial, and he runs a lot of the pitch here, Marcus. A lot of the pitch. I mean, that's quality. Yeah. That is a quality. That's a quality action. That is a quality action by Martial. He picks it up in his own half and scores a fantastic bloody goal. Absolutely brilliant. Pogba and Martial are going to get us the 3 points today. Absolutely superb. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, Marcus. I bloody loved it.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So Martial picks it up just inside our half. On the left-hand side, and he runs with the ball. He goes past 2 players. I'm not sure who it was. One of the Fulham defenders tried to take him down, but he still stayed on his feet, and he's tucked it away, bottom right-hand corner. Absolutely phenomenal run and phenomenal goal. Fantastic. And he's only doing what Ollie has asked him to do a couple of weeks ago. Make more runs in behind, attack your fullback, and he's done it. Absolutely superb that time, but Fulham are on the attack again.
Wow, 2-0. 2-0 to United in the first 25 minutes. And it's probably not been that sort of game to Fulham. I mean, when you're down there, you're down there. But it's so interesting because when we were doing the preview, I was saying Fulham are averaging conceding 2 goals a game, and we've already got those 2 goals. And I think that should be game over for United now because they're just not a very good team. Another late foul there. That'll be a yellow card on Smalling. He should have been booked for the one on... He should be off, really. If he'd been booked for the one on Jones, he'd be gone.
Yeah. Isn't that Veto or Vieto?
Vieto, yeah.
Whatever his name is, but...
That's
the second
nasty,
late one he's done.
No, that's not Vieto. It's Brian, that is. That's the left back. Yeah.
It was Vieto that did the one on Phil Jones.
I tell you what, it's an absolutely cracking goal. Cracking goal from Martial there. I mean, I think I was looking away when the move started. I wasn't looking away when he finished it, but to pick it up in your own half in the Premier League and run at a defence and score, he made it. He makes it look so easy. That's the thing. He makes it look so easy.
Well, excellent ball control by him as well. I mean, it's slightly tough conditions down there with the wind as well. So, to run that far at that speed and keep that ball at your feet without, playing a hefty touch, absolutely fantastic. But United in again, Mata edge of the box, offside.
Well, I mean,
that's the first time I've seen Lukaku involved here. Lukaku being offside.
It could get very, very interesting if we get another one. I mean, I don't feel sorry for oppositions. I don't ever do that, but United. It's the quality that they've got. You know, the Pogba quality on the first goal, the Martial quality on the second goal. That's what should happen when United are playing teams down the bottom. You know, they might be able to match us for effort and everything like that, but your quality should be the thing that takes the game away from them. And it's superb that at the moment that's what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I mean, Fulham did look dangerous in the first 10 minutes, but they have dropped off. They've not had that same flair down the flanks. They're trying to switch the play quick and to catch Luke Shaw out on the left-hand side, but it's not working at the minute.
Zachary Purvis says that was a vintage United goal, allowing them to press and countering with amazing run. Now imagine Matter is replaced with a right winger who can do the same. Exactly. And also, just to raise a good point there, I tweeted it off the United Stand Twitter account just then. Never play Alexis Sanchez there again on the left-hand side, because if that's Sanchez with that space in front of him, he comes back on his right-hand side and passes it backwards. Martial will exploit the space. He's a direct player. Sanchez won't do that. And I think, you know, never play Sanchez on the left again. Give him a chance on the right. I mean, Mata's doing soddle, but never play him on the left again. It's got to be Martial every single game. Every single game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't even think, even if Sanchez was on that left-hand side, I don't even think he would get that opportunity. He's not that quick. Definitely not as quick as Martial, and definitely not as direct as him. Martial and Lingard on the flanks just offer pure pace, directness, and you know, when they get their fullbacks one-on-one, Phil Jones across, good covering by Jones there, to be honest. When Lingard and Martial get the fullbacks one-on-one, you fancy them to beat them.
Well, a goal and an assist for Martial in the first 20 minutes, but to run in from your own half here, he showed strength, rode 2 tackles, and then the finish as well. Fantastic. It's so difficult to do that. It's so difficult to do that. I mean, I can do it, but you know, that's just pure talent. But to go past 2 players and then have the composure to put it in, that's proper. You can't teach that. That is pure talent, and absolutely fantastic goal by Martial. Definitely the goal of the game. Pogba's was a good finish, caught the keeper out, but Martial has started off so well. I mean, that's a good ball into Lukaku again. What the fuck's that, Lukaku? Come on!
It's a lazy layoff, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he actually controls the ball like a magnet, and then his layoff has got about as powerful as a butterfly's fart. It's terrible. But we're 2-0 up, so you know we can
be controlling the game now.
Yeah. But Martial and Shaw and Pogba have been fantastic. The Bermuda Triangle, Fulham have disappeared down that. Phil Jones is Fulham goal waiting to happen, says T. Ballard. And De Gea stopped the long balls. We're giving away possessions, says Queening the North. Well, we spoke about that when it was 0-0. De Gea's having to hit long balls because he's getting balls back to him. See, Lukaku's slow there. That's a good ball from Delone. He's stuck on his arse. He's so lethargic as a front man.
He's not expecting the pass at all.
When's he going to lose this bloody bulk as well? He told us 2 months ago, I'm going to lose. I put a bulk on in the World Cup. I'm going to get rid of it. And he still hasn't used it. He's the only player in that United shirt who looks massive.
Yeah. Very overweight, I think he is for a footballer. Just too much muscle on the guy.
I tell you what, Phil Jones got an assist on that goal, says WS.
It was him and Herrera that broke up the play, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's not really an assist when somebody picks it up in their own half, goes past 2 players and puts it in the bottom corner.
Tackle by Herrera again. Come on, Lukaku, chase it down.
I fancy Lukaku to get a goal today. I think there's chances there.
Well, I mean, you'd think there would be opportunities for him throughout the afternoon, but so far he's not been involved for me.
Mark, could you please give a short summary? I missed it. This is Karan Banzai. Yeah, so first goal was a slipped ball to Pogba by Martial, and he smacked it in the inside post. Keeper probably should have done a bit better, but it was a very good hit by Pogba. Second goal, we break it up in our own half, give it to Martial in his own half, skips past 2 players and does what he does in the penalty box. He doesn't miss. Even Ollie was talking about that the other day. He does not miss. He's got such a good finish, and it's took the game away from Fulham for the moment. I mean, we could hand it back to them, but for the moment, I think getting into half-time 2-0 up, and the risk that Ollie's taken with the selection, it's paying off because of the quality that's still on the pitch.
I mean, as you rightly say, Mark, I mean, 2-0 is a dangerous scoreline, and it makes it even more dangerous with the centre-backs we got in the team. So I wouldn't be comfortable with this until the final whistle.
I mean, if you're a Chelsea fan or you're an Arsenal fan, you'd be pissed off, because if you're watching it, which you probably are because it's lunchtime on a Saturday, you'd be like, oh, Fulham started off really well. How are they 2-0 down? But they're 2-0 down because the quality that we've got in our team. This is why. I mean, you look at Mourinho. I don't want to mention that name much, but who was he treating badly? Pogba and Martial. Who's took this game away from Fulham? Pogba and Martial.
And United are on the break now.
See, that's good again from
Herrera.
Martial.
Yeah, Herrera right-hand side. Delow's come into it.
Slowed it down there.
Good ball in there.
Oh, what a ball! What a ball by Herrera into Pogba. It's a shame that he sort of lost it a little bit. Need to help there. That's good. That was brilliant. Herrera's got that ability as well. He's not just a box-to-box break-it-up player. He's got that pass there to Pogba. Literally took the whole Fulham back four out. It was magnificent. Poor cross by Shaw.
Great play from him down the right-hand side. Bible tries to clear it and slices it. So
Empty Boy 377 says the corner flag moves more than Lukaku. He's 100% static. To be honest, Lukaku in this team,
because of the wind.
Lukaku today is, he ain't the best, but I still think if we can create chances, he will score. But he hasn't got the movement. I mean, that movement from Pogba. Why is Lukaku not making that run? He hasn't got the intelligence to make it. But Pogba's been fantastic this game. Herrera's been very good again. I think Shaw and Martial have been good. Matic has worked his way into the game. I think he had a bit of a lethargic first 5 minutes. But I would agree. Lukaku, Mata, Jones, Smalling.
Delay did well there on the right-hand side. Ball in by Mata. Lukaku, nowhere near it. Pogba was free out on the left-hand side. Maybe should have gone that way.
It's the first teamers that are doing the business. It's the backup players that are maybe making us a little bit nervous. But they're going to be rusty, aren't they? To be fair to them, they are going to be rusty because they're not playing much.
Yeah, but you're not seeing the quality of the backup players shine through. I mean, yeah, let's not forget, this is a team second from bottom. They should be putting in really good performances. And so far, Mata losing the ball there. Mata has not had a good game at all at the minute. Lukaku, not very much involved. Smalling and Jones are very suspect. So with those centre-backs, there's always going to be an opportunity for Fulham.
Yeah. Well, as I said, we were talking at 0-0. I said I can see this being 3-2.
Yeah, do you still think so? I wouldn't fancy United keeping a clean sheet with the defence that we've got out there. But so far, everything is going according to plan. I don't think De Gea's had to make a save yet.
I think my score prediction was 3-1. So I think I agree with Winsley, Augustine. I would give Herrera man of the match, and I know that sounds stupid so far because obviously Pogba's had a goal and Martial's had a goal and an assist.
Fucking hell, Herrera's took one there as well. Gee, I'll tell you what, Fulham's tackling.
I think he slips into the tackle. I'd be surprised if there's a card here from the referee. It looked nasty, but Herrera actually slips. Yeah. There's nothing in that.
Oh.
Both players could have got that's innocuous. It looks really nasty at first, didn't it? But yeah. I mean, to be fair, we're lucky to get the free kick because Herrera sort of knocks it and then slips. But yeah, there's nothing sinister about that. But Calamity Jones says Herrera slips. Calamity Jones would know all about calamitous things. But it is an opportunity for Mata to do something on the game. It's a set piece. And this is where we know he has got a very good left foot. So hopefully he can put it in.
Well, there's a fair bit of height in there today as well. You know, Pogba, Lukaku, Smalling.
Oh, I don't know what that was. A crap cross by Delow.
Yeah.
Alligator says, never know when Lukaku is raising his arm if he wants the ball or a second cheeseburger. Oh, I don't think it's. I've said this to be fair to Lukaku. I mean, there's a lack of pace from Mata, the 1-2. He's just not got the pace. Pogba tries to play a 1-2 with him. You can't do that with Mata. He's just not got the pace. But with Lukaku, I know a lot of people call him fat. I personally think it's just. I think he's too muscly. I think he's bulked up too much. I think if he took his top off, you'd see it's not fat. It's just pure muscle. But why do you need all that muscle when you're a number 9?
A good tackle in there by Smalling on the edge of the box. And again, that's another late challenge. That's Chambers this time.
No, it's all right. We've got to be. To be fair to Ollie, he's sort of glad we're not playing Lindelof and Bailly today, because if you want to get any centre backs to get injured, you probably want Jones and Smalling.
Yeah, it's going to be another yellow. Again, another late challenge.
Yeah, I was just going to say anyway before that Herrera, that foul on Herrera, I think he's been absolutely superb. To be honest, I thought Smalling's tackle looked worse. No. I didn't see the foot there. Mark. Yeah, I didn't see that, to be fair. Definite yellow, good refereeing. Jack Lille, I can't read that out because of the connotations, I'm afraid. I know it's a joke, but I can't read it, so apologies. I'll delete it for you.
So I think Callum Chambers is lucky he's got away without a red there.
Yeah, well, they've put in some nasty tackles, Fulham, to be fair. But going back to that, I mean, Martial's had a goal and an assist, so obviously I think most of your scripted media would give him man of the match. But if you're a thinking person, you would say Herrera's been man of the match because he's been brilliant defensively, and when he's gone forward, he's absolutely the complete box-to-box. This game is how to be a box. If you're an aspiring footballer, and you want to know what a box-to-box midfielder is, there's a lesson. Under Herrera's performance today is the act. I mean, look at him here. He's running over to right back to get it. He's absolutely everywhere. Stunning performance from Herrera in this first 40 minutes. Absolutely amazing. Nick Player says, anyone heard much of Ryan Sessegnon this season? He's a very good player, but he's been on the bench the last couple of games. I mean, maybe the Premier League's he's not ready for it yet. He's still a young lad, isn't he? I think he's still only 18, isn't he? 18, 19?
Yeah. I don't think he's 20 yet. So, but yeah, a lot of promise. I think a lot of teams were linked to him in the summer. I know Spurs were definitely in for him, weren't they? But failed to get him, obviously. But United just trying a bit of ping pong going on here at the minute. Just can't get the ball down. Mata brings it down though. Out to Martial and United on another attack again. He's in the area, trying to do it again. Lukaku. Just
nearly.
Too high. Just too high. I think it's a corner though. Deflection. I think this will be United's first corner of the game. Yep. Fulham 2 corners, United 1. 5 minutes to go to half time. Wind's causing a bit of problem with the ball. Here he comes. Herrera back in. Matic picked it up on the left. Pogba's running. Ball in. Lukaku again. Lukaku, why has he gone with that with his foot? Why don't you chuck his head at it? Phil Jones.
Oh, God. I tell you what, he'd have sat us all down then. I thought it was Matic for a minute. It was Phil Jones, edge of the box. He nearly scores a screamer. I tell you what, it would have been hilarious.
With his left foot as well, I think it was.
Phil Jones' left foot drops to him on the edge of the box, and he smacks it with his left foot. And I'd love that to have gone in. It would have been hilarious. Technique was absolutely shit, to be honest. He hit it straight, but
I think the keeper got his fingers to it. Yeah,
he's got a corner from it. Martial, get a third before half time. He can take the big players off. No, not quite. Mitrovic. Mr. Rasson says, Mark, what do you think of the Rodri Giggs ad? I thought it was funny, but a bit cringe, to be honest. And Joe Lukaku says Lukaku is a B-Tech Mitrovic. I think Lukaku might score. I've been saying it for a while. Maybe I'm trying to reverse psychology there, but he might get a goal. Anyway, we're getting close to half time. 5 minutes to go. And what colour boots is Phil Jones wearing? Yeah, imagine if he'd done them in the pink boots. That would have been rest in peace Goldbridge there. As a Norwegian Liverpool fan, I'm not sure how to feel, says Simon Ford. Yeah, that must be a difficult one. Norwegian Liverpool fan. Obviously, you're not going to like United, but you're going to love Ollie.
Matic just give away a free kick there. Arm across Ryan Babel.
Well, apparently, if Matic gets a yellow card, he can't play against Liverpool.
Yeah, I think he's looking at... That'll be his 5th, won't it?
Yeah, I don't think he did get a yellow card, but United on the attack here down that left-hand side again. Pogba into Martial. Looked like a foul on Pogba, but the refs played it on. It's Pogba again who, Herrera's been immense. I've got to say Pogba and Martial have been superb. It's a close between those three. And Delo, that's the innocence of youth there, trying to do something worldy when he had an overlap. But Phil Jones is walking around with a hard-on now. He's had a shot on goal, and people actually went, ooh! He's never experienced that before. I mean, straight at the keeper, really.
Yeah, pretty routine save for the Fulham goalkeeper, but Phil Jones has got the black and green boots on today.
Yeah, he doesn't wear the pink boots anymore. I can't think why.
Oh, I wonder. I think the clip on.
To be fair, we haven't played in the pink kit
off.
for a while, though, have we?
I think someone's going to get a card here. So Matic. I think he's picked up the yellow now. Yeah, he has.
Fuck.
So,
is that Matic out of the Liverpool game then?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, because they wouldn't suspend him for the FA Cup, would they, against Chelsea?
Yeah, surely he'd be missing that. Yeah, it'd be Premier League totting up, wouldn't it? I suppose. Good save, De Gea. Shot by Fulham. Don't want to concede before half-time.
No, so that's De Gea had that pretty much covered. There's a long ball in from the left-hand side. Miscommunication by Smalling and De Gea. And De Gea, comfortable save. Watched it all the way. Great tackle by Luke Shaw on the left. Luke Shaw's had a good game today.
Yeah. That's a foul, surely.
So another foul, late foul.
Now we're in trouble. Mata, Delo and Lukaku working the ball out. Oh, God, Lukaku, just get rid of it.
Do you know what? That wasn't a bad ball. Someone was a little bit quicker towards the back post there.
Then again, I think at the highest level, he should be making that cross.
Yeah. Great little triangle work there between Mata, Herrera and Pogba. Ball out to the right by Pogba. His passing has been absolutely spot on today. Delo, great skill by Delo. Unlucky, cross was blocked. Fulham just trying to get through a half-time without conceding a third.
There's contrasting things about Matic because apparently we've passed the 5-card deadline, which I think was in December, and it's 10 now.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what Dev's saying as well. So yeah, it looks like we're okay. We can't afford to lose any of them at the moment. It's such a well-balanced midfield three. I think you can improve it, and I think we will improve it in the summer, and I think you should be looking at Ndombele and people like that, but it's the balance. I always think when you look at Real Madrid under Zidane and they won 3 Champions Leagues, is Casemiro, Kroos and Modric the best midfield three in the world? Well, you could argue that they are, but individually they're probably not, but as a three they worked so well, and I think at United, alright, so it's a bit of a B-Tech version because they haven't won 3 Champions Leagues, but I think Pogba as the more advanced left-sided player and Herrera as the box-to-box and Matic as the patroller, you've just got that perfect balance. And yeah, I would like to see someone more mobile than Matic, but I've said it for a while now. Between now and May, we go with what we've got, and I think it's a very good midfield three. And I would hate for us to lose any of them because I think they're massively important to us. Just need to get to half-time.
Smalling's had a good last 2 or 3 minutes here. He's been clearing everything that's come into the box from Fulham. He's been headering it away, chesting it away, kicking it away. Herrera's free on the right if Martial can see him.
Oh,
wrong
unlucky.
decision.
Trying to find Lukaku.
Wrong decision.
Look at how Lukaku's head drops. He's so rude. Like, Martial doesn't find him with the pass there, and Lukaku's head drops to the ground petulantly. It's like, who the hell are you?
Bit of arrogance as well.
Yeah, it is arrogance, and for what?
Get the opportunity.
What? Yeah. I mean, Martial has actually got a goal and assist in this game, Romelu. You know, it's because of him we're 2-0 up. And he was actually trying to find you. It didn't work. All right, it's not a good pass, but we don't lessen the bloody attitude and just applaud him. Bloody hell.
Trying for it, didn't get it.
De Gea didn't get that, but I think United will clear it. No way was that a handball on Phil Jones.
Right.
Chest.
But again, it was a decision the ref had to make there. I'm pretty sure it hit his chest.
Yeah, 100%. No way.
Yeah.
It's his belly. Brian Tall says, Mark, what amazes me is that not long ago, under certain managers, Lukaku was untouchable. How desperate did we get? Yeah. And that's half time. Well, it's been a really good half for Manchester United. I've got to say, we weathered the storm at the start of the half, and I thought Fulham, quite rightly, looked to exploit United, especially Jones and Smalling and Matic. They pressed high up the pitch. They had a couple of good chances. Then Pogba, out of nothing really, Martial fed him in. You think he's going to cross it. He sees Lukaku in the middle. He thinks, I'm not wasting this. I'm going to shoot. It's in. It's 1-0 United. And then a few minutes later, we feed the ball to Martial in his own half, skips past two players, does what he does in the penalty box, 2-0. And probably takes the game away from Fulham. However, having said that, that's only a little bit of the story. I think Fulham have been competitive. They've put in some nasty fouls. They've been tenacious. The next goal could be crucial. I think if Fulham were to get a goal and we were to get a little bit nervous, we might be in problems. And what I would say, Marcus, is, I mean, Spencer Urban says Pogba is sitting and Mata has been playing centre. I mean, that, to me, would be the thing that I would say. It's the first team players that have took this game away from Fulham. I think if you look at Shaw, Herrera, Matic, Pogba and Martial, those five have been superb. If you look at Lukaku, Mata, Jones, Smalling and Delot, less so. I think Jones, Smalling and Delot have done okay, but Mata, Lukaku, looking very rusty, looking like players that, you know, if we didn't have those five first teamers, I think we might be in a match today. But thankfully, it's those first teamers that have took the game away. And the Machine 94 says, my opinion, Smalling is doing great with the defence. So, you know, I think Smalling and Jones have grown into the game. They had a bad first 10 minutes, and I think Delot's grown into the game as well. But Mata and Lukaku are struggling.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I agree with that comment there. I think Smalling has been the better out of the two centre-backs. He's been... So far, he's been positionally, he's been okay. He's got his body in front of everything towards the end of that half. Delot, I think, has grown into the game. The longer the half went on, the more confident the boy got. And to be honest, I think that's all you can ask from the young lad. He's not had much game time this season. He's been on the bench a few times. So, I mean, he did a couple of step overs down the right-hand side towards the end of the half. Looked like it was a decent ball in, but unfortunately it got blocked. But again, it's the problem, the staticness and the laziness of our number 9. I think this game just goes to prove he's not had any attempt at goal yet. And United have been quite attacking in that half, and he's not got himself involved. He's not put himself about in amongst the centre-backs. He's not tried to bully them. His chasing down has been poor, effort levels. He just looks lazy, almost like just not interested. And Mata's on the right-hand side, not really been involved. But I think that's because we're utilising our left-hand side because it's pace in abundance compared to the right. Martial and Luke Shaw, fantastic combination down that left-hand side. Luke Shaw knows when to overlap. He knows when to stay. But Mata and Delot doesn't really work. Delot's literally been the furthest forward, I think, for the last 10 minutes of that half instead of Mata. So if I was Fulham at half-time, I'd be saying to the players, you know, get down United's right-hand side because that's where the damage can come from.
Chops Howe, thanks for the contribution. He says, think Delo has been very good, to be honest. And just before I talk about the Bermuda Triangle, because that's where the game has disappeared, Pogba, Martial and Shaw. A lot of people in the live comments talking about Smalling, saying he's played very well. They're pleased with Phil Jones as well. I think if you saw the first 5 minutes, you wouldn't be saying that. I think they look very, very rusty, but much the same as what Marcus was saying about Delo. These are players that haven't had any game time. So I think they've grown into the game. It's a brand new partnership, centre-back partnership again. I think they have done. And as I said, if people were watching, obviously we go live an hour before kick-off with the team news. I was asked about Smalling. I've always liked Smalling. I've always been quite positive about Smalling. And what I said is that I like Smalling. I would never have him as a first teamer in a team that wants to win the title. But I do think he's the best third choice centre-back in the Premier League. And I think if you are Spurs, United, Chelsea, Chris Smalling is your third choice centre-back is probably the best option you're going to have. I think he's a very good player to come in. He's always physical. He's quick. His ball distribution is terrible. But as a third choice centre-back, I like Smalling and I think he's grown into the game. Phil Jones hasn't made an error, which is always a positive. He nearly scored a banger as well. Mata and Lukaku, they're just continuing the consistency they've shown this season, which is just not quite good enough. Spencer Urban says Lukaku and Mata have got to go. Mata keeps taking Pogba's position. Should have played youth instead of Mata and Lukaku. Pogba and Martial are on another level. And Stuart Kerr says, having watched a lot of La Liga over the years, I haven't seen a talent like Quincy Promes in some time. Do you think he could replace Sanchez? I mean, what I said, Marcus, just to talk about Sanchez, I don't know whether we're planning on playing Sanchez against PSG, but I don't know why we don't play Sanchez on the right-hand side. It must be in his contract that he can't play there. It makes no. I just don't understand why he couldn't try Sanchez on the right-hand side. He's got lots of energy. He's actually, most of his creativity in a United shirt has come from the right. But never play him on the left again. Never play him on the left again. I mean, that goal from Martial to pick it up in his own half and be direct and skip past players. Sanchez can't do that. He'd cut inside in his own half and played it to Herrera, passed it back to Jones. You know, he can never play on that side again. Sean Cade says, and Mourinho wanted to sell Pogba and Martial. They've been superb, but for me, the standout has been Herrera. But would you make any changes at half-time, Marcus? Would anybody make any changes?
Oh, do you know what? I would do, purely because I'd have, if I was Ollie, I'd have one eye on the Paris Saint-Germain game now. And I think the performance that Martial has put in today, his attacking performance, has been absolutely phenomenal. So I wouldn't want to, but I would think just to give him, just to wrap him up in cotton wool, ready for PSG, I would probably take him off. He's been the most consistent for me in that first half. He's looked the most dangerous. And I think he missed the Burnley game, didn't he? He was injured. So maybe just take him off probably about 10, 15 minutes into the second half. If we're still 2-0 or maybe 3-0, definitely take him off. Just wrap him in cotton wool, save him for Paris Saint-Germain. I think maybe you could get away with taking maybe Matic off as well. But I think apart from them two, I think everyone else, the energy levels look pretty much fine. They do look pretty decent. But the whole team, you've got to be careful of picking up a slight injury because Paris Saint-Germain will be a massive game on Tuesday.
I think, I was watching the goal back then when you were talking. I mean, I've literally just tweeted it off my account and said that if Hazard scores that goal, it would be goal of the season. Remember that goal he scored against Liverpool reserves in the Carabao Cup?
Yeah.
It was nowhere near as good as that. And he's the best player in the world. If Hazard had scored that goal today for Chelsea, they wouldn't shut up about him being the best player in the world. Martial will get the plaudits, but he won't get that sort of plaudits. And I've been saying this about Martial for a long time. If he can find the consistency, he can be one of the best players in Europe. That goal he's just scored makes me get goosebumps. It was, there's not many players in the world who can pick the ball up in their own half, glide past two players and score seamlessly. It was absolutely sensational. And
do you know what I think? You got to. I know it was all down to Martial, obviously, for scoring, but I think when you like who you're playing for in terms of the manager and the style of play, you tend to, you give that extra 10, 20%, don't you? And you would never have seen that run by Martial under Mourinho.
Oh, you're right. He wouldn't be allowed to do that under Mourinho because what he does is he gets the ball and he's direct. He's not waiting for anybody else to join the attack. I mean, Mourinho and Van Gaal, they wouldn't have wanted Martial to do that. They'd be like, build the play up the pitch gradually, because if you get stuck up there, what are you going to do? And Martial's like, I don't need anyone else. I'm just going to run and I'm going to score.
Exactly.
Yeah, you see, you're spot on there. Tampa Gobka says, do you feel Ollie will start to play Chong in the upcoming weeks just to give us something different on the right? You've been doing a great job as well. Thank you, Tampa. I would have liked to seen Chong play today. I think he would offer us more than Mata does, but I don't think we're going to see much youth over the next month because of the games we've got. I mean, just to answer the question, a lot of people are saying take Matic off. I mean, the problem is this game isn't home and hosed yet. We're not home and dry yet, sorry. And Jamie M says, where do I get a United Stand Cup from? We don't do merch. I think we're going to start looking at doing some, actually. So I'll keep you updated when that happens. But the trouble is, if we took Matic off and you can only bring McTominay on. We've got no Fred. We've got no Pereira. I suppose you could put Jones in the midfield and put Bay at the back. I would prefer to do that.
I mean, I would have thought maybe he could have brought Lingard on and put Lingard in the midfield three.
Yeah.
Lingard played pretty well in there, a few games ago, and he can do a job in there. So, you could put Lingard in there, or you could swap him with Mata, put Mata at the top of the midfield three. So he does have an option there for that. Is he brave enough to do that, to take off the natural CDM in our team? Because I wouldn't like to see him change him for McTominay. Not a chance.
No, I personally wouldn't make any substitutions yet unless it was going to be Sanchez for Mata. And the reason I wouldn't do that is because I think that this game is still a little bit evenly poised, and I would like to see it I'd like to see us get it over the line a little bit more, because you take Martial off for Sanchez and Sanchez has a bad game. You give Fulham a bit of impetus. It doesn't take long to score 2 goals. So I'd give it 15 minutes. I'd try and get the 3rd goal. Then I'd make the changes. And then I would make 3 changes very quickly. I'd be looking to take Pogba off, Martial off. And to be honest with you, I probably wouldn't take Mata and Lukaku off. What's the point? We're not going to play them on Tuesday. Maybe they're having shit games, but take off the players that are important. That's what I would do in this game. So I would be looking to get Martial off and Pogba off, and maybe even Herrera off if we can.
Yeah. I mean, I just think he's got to have an eye on the Champions League. He really has. I mean, if he's resting Rashford, he's made 4 or 5 changes today, so he's obviously looking towards that game. So I think taking Martial off would probably be, not because he's done anything wrong, but just to make sure the lad is okay and, he's fit enough for Tuesday, because he's going to play a vital part in it, without a doubt. I mean, maybe would you take a risk bringing Pogba off, just to make sure he's okay as well?
Well, you know what? We spoke about... We spoke about that, didn't we? There is that whole Fulham have been putting them in some tasty tackles, haven't they?
They have, yeah. And this is what I'm saying. Like, when you want to take them off because they're going to be vitally important. We don't want them getting the worst ones. Is probably like the little niggles that take a few weeks to get over, and they just want to make sure they're okay. So the late tackles by Fulham are a concern. You don't mind if they're on Smalling, Jones, Mata, but we can't afford to get any injuries to our main players.
No, we can't. We absolutely can't. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner, we're getting close to 370,000 subscribers. You're very welcome if you are new. You won't regret it. Fantastic community that we have on the United Stand, and bottom right hand corner to do that. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. Flex is at the game for the fan cams. We'll be obviously at the game on Tuesday night as well, and for the Paris game. So loads to get involved. Got my match reaction afterwards, but obviously we'll stay with you through till full time of this game. And look, we spoke about it before the game. A lot of people in the live comments said it as well. It really is about winning this game, because we can all sit back for the rest of the weekend. Will Arsenal slip up at Huddersfield? Probably not, but we'll be sat there comfortable knowing that we haven't slipped up. And then obviously tomorrow you've got Man City, Chelsea, where as long as Man City beat Chelsea, which I want them to do because I want them to win the league over Liverpool, because Liverpool are our biggest rival, but more importantly, if they beat Chelsea, we will be into 4th, which will complete this amazing journey from being nowhere under Mourinho in mid-December. Ollie comes in, and by mid-February we would be top four, which would be amazing, Marcus.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, you can't fault the guy for what he's done. He's come in, he's lifted the mood, he's got us playing the way we should be playing. Players are free, they're happy to express themselves on the pitch, and it's a total contrast to where we were, 7-8 weeks ago. We were absolutely on our back, on our knees. The football was boring. The players, it looked like the effort just wasn't there. We were a lazy team. They weren't fit. The tactics were shite. So, the job that he's done, I mean, fair play to him. I don't agree with what Paul Ince said. I hate to say it, but, when he says that anyone could have come in and done it, not a chance. Not a chance. Because Manchester United is a massive club, and it takes a special sort of person. It's the United way has got to be embedded in the DNA. They have to get them playing in a positive way. The football's got to be entertaining. If you entertain the fans, you got a 12th man, as far as I'm concerned. And today, the way we've been playing away from home, it's been absolutely fantastic. So fair play to Ollie and the management team.
Well, we're just about to kick off the second half. Lots of smiles. Ollie, Pogba, Martial, all smiling on the pitch, looking happy.
You know what I mean? You never see this 8 weeks ago. You never have seen that. And it just shows the difference in the mood, the attitude. They're enjoying playing their football again. Would Martial sign that contract if the ex-manager was still in charge? No way, buddy. He wanted to get rid of him in the summer. And it just shows the confidence that Ollie's instilled into these players.
I think it'd be really important if we do get over the line with this result, because he knows, against Burnley, he made a lot of changes, and I think everybody, I said it, a lot of the United stand community said it, and even when I was reading other United sort of top reds and journalists and everything.
Pogba over the top. Mata.
And they were saying he made too many changes. And I think he did make too many changes, but he's made a lot of changes today. So it'd be nice if he, a lot of us felt he'd made too many changes today, but if he wins, Lee Bullington says you can't forget the huge impact of Mike Phelan too. I don't think anyone with a brain does. It's a bit like the Herrera thing, isn't it? I think a lot of people, Marcus, would say Martial's man of the match, and that's a bit like saying Ollie's a genius, when actually Herrera is man of the match if you know football. And again, it's a bit like praising Mike Phelan, isn't it? It's the less obvious option, but he's had a massive thing to say. Lukaku. I don't know whether he could get his head around that. It was a good cross. Yeah. I think it was Delot, wasn't it? He crossed that one in.
Yeah, great cross by Delot. Right on the head of Lukaku. Lukaku just cannot control the header at all. But
lot of long balls by Dyer today.
Mike Phelan, massive influence. Again, knows the United way. Michael Carrick and McKenna. Now Solskjaer and Phelan's there. They're free to express their opinions. They don't feel like they're being spoken to like children. Their opinions aren't being ignored now. So it's a happy camp at the minute, and you can tell that by the run of results and the way we're playing.
It's interesting reading the live comments, because there's some people in there saying that Delot's been poor, Delot's been good. I would give him a 6 out of 10 so far. I think I'd give him a 6 out of 10, but I would also say, what do you expect? He's a young kid. He's playing at right back in a very important game. Yeah, he's made mistakes, but he's done good bits as well. I'd play him over Young. He's physical, he's tall, he can challenge in the air, he's quick. He's a right back. And yes, he's going to make mistakes, but what's Ashley Young doing at the moment? I mean, he's been atrocious. So I would love to see him playing more. I personally think we'll see Young back against PSG, but I like Delot has got to grow into the role, and it's a bit like Luke Shaw. I mean, he was getting a lot of criticism around Christmas time, and I was like, he's been Player of the Month twice already this season. I think he's been brilliant the last 3 or 4 games. He's going to have little dips because it's his first full season as our fullback, and you've got to make mistakes to improve. But I think Luke Shaw's been absolutely superb, and I think if we started playing Delot every game, he'd be great.
I totally agree with you. I mean, he's a right back that likes to get forward. That's the best thing about him. He's not the best defensively at the minute, but he's learning his trade. It's like you said, it's his first full season in the Premier League. He's going to make mistakes, which all young lads do, and he's got the pressure of playing for one of the biggest clubs in the world. So the spotlight's going to be on him. I'm pretty sure he's up to the challenge. He's done okay this game. He's not been fantastic, but he's got forward at the right opportunities. He's put a couple of decent balls into the box. It's just a shame our number 9 can't finish him. But I think he's done okay. Pretty decent average performance from him.
I'm just putting a mark under all the players so far out of 10. It's hard to give De Gea anything other than a 6 because he's not had much to do. So I've given De Gea a 6 out of 10 so far. Dalot an average 6, Smalling a 7, Jones a 6, Shaw a 7, Matic a 7, Pogba and Martial an 8, Herrera a 9, Mata a 5, and Lukaku a 4. So let us know in the line. I'll start. Well, I think we should start doing that more often, actually. Just ongoing during the game. Give us your thoughts on that.
I was just going to say, maybe you could incorporate that into this. Be pretty fun. Only one I'd disagree with you on would be Mata. I'd give him a 4. I think he's been like Lukaku, not really been involved.
I could live with that.
Not really. He's not really done anything of note.
See, I'm Mainsy says I hate Jones, but come on, he's been a 7. No, because I think if you compare Jones to Dalot, and an average 6 isn't bad. An average 6 isn't a bad performance. I don't think Jones has justified getting a 7. I think Smalling's justified getting a 7 because he's made a lot of more key interceptions. Jones hasn't had a bad game. Maybe he can become a 7 later in the game, but at the moment, I would say, like Dalot, it's a steady game from Jones. Certainly not a bad game like Mata and Lukaku. I think Smalling's just made a few more interceptions, to be honest. Wilf says that if you want 8s and 9s out of Dalot, then he needs more games of 6 and 7s out of 10. Yeah, good point.
He needs a steady run of games, that lad. Confidence, that's all. And hopefully, within a month or two...
See, Dalot's growing into this game. He's coming forward a lot now.
Yeah, I mean, again, look...
Mata's getting involved more second half, to be fair.
Yeah.
United have started off quite well.
Fair bit. Yeah, I mean, Fulham's not really had much of the ball this second half.
Lovely ball.
Great ball by Pogba again to Mata.
Martial in the box.
Martial, bit of trickery. He's in. Saved. No. Goalkeeper's got it.
That was much better by Mata.
That's the second decent ball from Pogba in the second half already. Just playing that little pass round the blind corners, disguising it. Luke Shaw, that's not a foul. Come on.
I tell you what, we're definitely going to do this live player ratings thing more because it's really creating some good content in the live comments. Darren Sweetman saying Jones got to be an 8. I don't think your name's Darren Sweetman. I think your name is Mrs. Phil Jones because he is married, and I think that's who you are. 8 out of 10 for Phil Jones. What are you on about? Do you understand the scoring system? 6 is average, 7 is obviously better than average, 8 is very, very good, 9 is superb, and 10 is flawless. I don't think, the only people who deserve an 8 on that pitch are Martial or above is Martial, Pogba and Herrera. I'm not even giving Matic an 8, and I think Matic has played well.
I think you would have given Phil Jones a 10 if he'd have scored.
He can if Phil Jones had scored that, he should retire. He's never going to get any better. A lot of people want me to give Jones a 7, but if I do that, I've got to delete all the scores and start again. So we'll do the scores again in a few minutes.
So Shirley's just come off for Palace and Christie's come on.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll leave it to you, Marcus. I'm just going to quickly pop to the toilet, all right?
Yeah, okay, mate. All right. So, Pogba's with the ball here. I mean, Pogba and Martial.
3 points, top
Absolutely.
4. It's coming home. Oh, yes.
Just make sure you wash your hands, please. Pogba and Martial have been absolutely fantastic in this game so far. But Fulham have got a goal kick here. Trying to play it out from the back. I mean, Lukaku here, he should be chasing down. But he's not. He's just standing there, so static, man. So static. So I hope everyone's okay today. Hope everyone's enjoying the show. Don't forget to hit a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. The Barbel is coming forward here with Fulham. Christie, ball across. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. Come on, get out. Get it out. There we go. Cleared away by Matic. No, they still. It's out for a throw. Apologies, I cannot read your comments today, guys, because I'm on my phone. So if anyone's saying hello or giving me abuse, thank you. If there's any super chats, I will tell Mark to just double check when he comes back. So do not worry. A ball over the top, Smalling. Herrera again, doing the donkey work in the middle of the field. Fulham trying to play it out again to this left-hand side. They're not getting much joy. Trying to switch it from flank to flank pretty quick. Luke Shaw's been caught out here. Ball in by Christie. Cleared away by Jones. Great tackle by Pogba. United can't get the ball out away. And there we go, goal kick. Great bit of play there by Pogba, just shepherding the ball out for a goal kick. So I think that's a good idea, Mark had actually, getting the live comments involved with player ratings during the game. So be interesting. Paris Saint-Germain game will be interesting for the ratings. We got, let's see, where are we? Coming up to 55th minute now. It's still United 2, Fulham 0. But Lukaku he's not looking interested at all. So
Smalling is my best on the ground so far, says the Machine 94.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I'm not sure if there's been any super chats because I'm on my phone.
All right, yeah, no worries. I was just thinking there. There has never been a goal scored when I've been on a toilet break.
Do you know what? I was really worried today. I was talking to a mate last night. Whenever you say this is guaranteed 3 points, usually we end up losing or drawing. And prime example being Burnley.
Yeah. I didn't say guaranteed. I wasn't as confident with Fulham. I said we would win, but I didn't do any of the bravado. This is an easy 3 points.
No, but I was very worried that the curse of
here we go. Martial. Oh, penalty.
Offside.
He's offside. Been interested in whether he would have given the penalty. He got to give the penalty if it was. Lovely ball, reverse pass by Pogba.
Yeah, he was
just about offside. But that. You know what that is? Paul Robinson will agree with me on this because he's been saying it for a long time, and Ollie said it a couple of weeks ago. Martial running in behind. He never used to do it under any manager, and Ollie has obviously got him to do it, and it makes such a difference. Lukaku is useful as a flat-headed Phillips screwdriver, says Sean Cade. He's had a bad, in a very good performance for United. He's had a bad game, hasn't he? Let's be honest.
He's not been. Do you know what? He's not living up to the price tag, is he, Lukaku? No. This season. Very, very disappointing. Delay's been getting forward every opportunity he can in this second half. I think he's played really well now. He's really up in his game. Bit of a loose pass there, but he's straight back into position again. Straight out to the right-hand side. Go on. Oh, he's been caught out there. The Smalling covers, and it's out for a corner.
Yeah, he's not had a great game, Lukaku. I would agree with that. But we're looking like an overweight... No, we're not. Matthew Bradshaw says, Lukaku's looking like an overweight ogre, hobbling and bumping into people, atrocious. I was just putting a tweet out to say the same. He looks so sluggish. And this game, I think Ollie will be a bit annoyed, really, because, again, obviously he wants to make substitutions, but without that third goal, that's got to be a yellow... Oh, no, he's fell over. Play it on. Oh, it's a shame. Matter, get it out of your bloody feet, Wan!
Do you know what? Every opportunity, Pogba just will not give that ball to Lukaku.
No.
Every time they've gone forward, United attacking, it's always been Pogba and Martial linking up.
It's been like playing with 10 men, and I know that sounds really unfair, but it's almost like, you're right, Pogba's not looking for it. Herrera's not looking for it. They don't look for Lukaku because I think they know he's not going to make those runs, and if you do play it in fast, it's going to bounce off him. They're always looking for Mata
well.
or looking for Martial. Marcus is actually a great commentator. It's a stick gang face. Controversial.
Oh, thank you.
It's controversial, but. I mean, you imagine what United would have been like with.
Right about there, come on.
Imagine what United would have been like with Rashford playing up front today. Somebody who actually can spin and run. Could have been 3 or 4.
Yes, I was just going to say that. When you think of what Martial, the damage that he's done with his runs in behind, imagine that with Lingard and Rashford as well. You know, Fulham would have been absolutely beside themselves, knowing that all front three possess the pace to get in behind them. Pogba's down, free kick. So, United they've taken it quick. Goalkeeper was alert to that. But again, you had 2 people in the box there, Martial and Lukaku, and it's aimed for Martial at the back post, totally bypassing Lukaku. It's almost like the players just don't want him in the team.
To be honest with you,
Mata.
Lovely ball by Mata into Martial into space.
Martial's in space. Look, Lukaku, he's first in there. There's the run. Again.
That wasn't good by Martial, to be fair.
I mean, Lukaku's putting his hand up at the back post, look. But
he's got to move, though. It's all right putting your hand up. You've got to move.
There. Yeah.
Get on your toes.
Run off your man.
To be fair to United, I think they are struggling with that this half. It's like Lukaku is such a dead weight in the team that they're looking up and they're like, well, it's all right putting your arm up. Where is your movement? Would have been good to have Greenwood to come on, says Bobby Travy. I would have started him, to be honest. It feels like we've had 10 men today up front. But a very good result. And if Rashford doesn't have to play, we've given him a rest.
Yeah.
If he'd played Rashford today, it's potentially, if he's got a bit of a dead leg, it's a potential injury. And I would keep Lukaku on for 90 minutes. I don't think
Ollie will want to use him. Great tackle. No, ref.
Ref. Come on.
Never. Herrera got the ball there.
I mean, Mini is saying rest Pogba, and I do agree with you, but who do you bring on? Maybe bring Lingard on.
So United at the 55% possession to Fulham's 45.
Yeah. Harry Nash is right. We desperately need some depth in the midfield.
Yeah, but I mean, Fulham, considering they're chasing the game, they're 2 goals down, they've not really put us under any pressure in this second half. De Gea's, again, not had anything to save in 17 minutes. Ball comes in. Oh, there we go. You had to catch that one.
I tell you what, this game should be won by United. We've been the better team, well held up there by Lukaku. Now find the pass.
Again,
where's the weight on that bloody pass? He should be putting Martial in one-on-one.
Yeah, it's not his first touch today. It's his ball. It's his layoffs. They're so slow. They've just not got the legs on them.
That should have been Martial one-on-one from Lukaku. He controlled it well. And the pass is simple. And he just doesn't put the weight on it. And Fulham cut it out. Lukaku's hands are more active than his legs, says Nicholas P. He did really well there, Lukaku. He held it up. The pass is there. And he's got no weight on it. Look at him here. What are you doing? Get it out of your feet.
3 touches to get it out. Too long.
Good. This is good build-up play, though.
One up.
Luke Shaw. Oh. It's it! Oh, what a hit!
What a save.
Oh, what a save. Herrera gets it there on the edge of the box. It bounces for you. Anybody would hit this. Marcus would have hit it that well. It was absolutely there to be smacked. And unfortunately, he smacked it straight at the keeper because I think that would have been the icing on the cake for Herrera's performance.
It's 3-0.
But United are playing well. They just need that third goal, and then I think we'll be able to make some subs. But at 2-0, it's just a little bit too... Fulham don't look like they're going to get back into it. But if they got one, it's suddenly game on, isn't it? So
yeah. With Laurel and Hardy at centre back, there's always that risk. There's always that chance.
A good comment here from Wilf Uchikuchu. He says, Pogba, Martial and Herrera have cauterised the Lukaku wound, Rambo First Blood style, by ignoring his raised arms. I think you're right. I think despite Lukaku's terrible performance, and he's done well here, I think he got lucky.
He's done
done very well.
Really.
Go on, Romelu. We're with you.
Ball.
Terrible pass.
Penalty.
And a penalty.
Penalty.
Well, this will be it. This will be the substitutions. This will be it. Wow, I've got to applaud Lukaku there. He got lucky. Well, and his pass to Mata was terrible, but it ended up with a penalty. So, assist by Lukaku. And the pass to Mata is atrocious. It's behind him. But it causes the penalty.
It's the wrong pass as well for me. I think he should have gone left to Martial because he was totally free. But Mata had his legs swept out from underneath him.
Well, this should be it. This should be game over.
You know what? Would you have given this to Lukaku? No. I know Pogba's taking it, but...
No. Get out. Don't let him stat pad. Make him work for his goals. So, Pogba to put it away, to make it 3-0. We can make some substitutions. Game over! Keeper went the right way, but it's 3-0 to Manchester United. Back of the net. T. Ballard, Lukaku pass touch, the same as Shaq shooting free throws, but he had a big part to play in that goal, and that is game over. Big up to the away fans. They're great today, says Michael Van Gerwen. The big thing for Manchester United is that third goal to take it away from Fulham, and I'll be amazed if Ollie doesn't make substitutions now, because it's been you just needed that breathing space. 3-0 with 25 minutes to go. Make the subs now, because I think Pogba, Martial and Herrera have been superb. Let's wrap them up with cotton wool and take the 3 points. And Ollie looks absolutely ecstatic on the touchline.
All the management team down there congratulating each other. De Gea as well. Yeah, there's a belief in this team now. Ollie has instilled a grit, a determination, a belief that they can do whatever they want to do. Anything is possible. And it's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Again, United, don't rest on your laurels. Carry on playing the way you've been playing. Poor pass by Matic there, which Martial.
I think United this second.
Look.
I think United's second half have been fantastic. Actually, I think Mata has got better. I'm going to do the updated player ratings so far in a moment, but I think Mata has been better. It wasn't hard to be better, but he has. And I think Fulham have been shit second half. To be fair, it looks like they feel beaten, and United have just their quality has come through.
Yeah, I think the golfing class, the quality of the players has shone through. I mean, Fulham, they tried to go toe-to-toe with United. They tried not play dirty, but they've tried to ruffle their feathers with a couple of late challenges, and it hasn't worked. United have stood the test. They've done really well. They've really stood up to the challenge. They know what what can be tomorrow after the City game. So, I think it's been a really, really good away performance from United today.
It'd be great if we can get a clean sheet as well, especially with the concerns that everybody had over the team selection. It would be magnificent.
Martial giving away a needless corner. Sanchez is coming on.
3-0 scoreline change.
That'd be interesting to see. I hope he takes Martial off. I really would. I think he's had a fantastic game, and it'd be a shame if he picked up an injury now.
Yeah, I know. I understand why a lot of people in the live comments would say take Mata off, he's not been good enough, but this isn't about that now. This is about Tuesday. This game is won. You take your best players off now. We don't need to be taking off the shit players. Keep the shit players on. Take your best players off and wrap them in cotton wool. Don't give Rashford or Lingard a minute. Don't give Bailly a minute. And get Martial and Pogba off if you can. That's what you should be looking to do. And then just tell somebody like McTominay and Sanchez, you just go out there and graft. If you get a goal, great, but you just go out there and graft and keep this at 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, Herrera missed the Burnley game, so I'd leave him on. I would probably take Pogba off last 10, 15 minutes, just chuck McTominay in there for a bit more defensive to keep the clean sheet. And take Martial off, and I think that would be the only changes I would make. And De Gea's first official save, I think. But yeah, United looking quite comfortable now to see the game out. No needless red cards or anything like that. So Sanchez is coming on now. Can't see who's coming off yet.
It must be for
Martial.
Yeah.
So
That's the right
good
one.
decision. Good decision. Totally agree with that.
Yeah, you don't mind being subbed off when you've had a game like that.
Yeah. So Sanchez now got 20 minutes. So I was just having a word with Pogba there, just telling him to slow down a bit. But I think the keys to United's success, under Ollie, is the midfield three.
One of the Fulham players back to wherever they came from there. Well, let's see what Sanchez can do in a team that's stretched. It's crap. He had an overlap with Shaw there. It'll be interesting to see if Sanchez actually does hog the touchline as well, because that's what he's got to come on and do.
Well, he's got a great ball over the top by Herrera at Sanchez here. So
coming on his right foot again.
Again, he's looking for that pass into the box. Mata tried to call for it. Wrong sort of thing. But Lukaku now should get a few more opportunities with Sanchez on. Lukaku, Sanchez, Mata. Oh, a little bit too slow. Just lacking that yard of pace.
I think there's more goals in this.
Yeah, I mean, I could get another one. Wouldn't be disappointed if they don't, but hopefully he takes Pogba off. Don't think there's been many times doing the Watchalongs, Mark, where we've hoped Pogba would come off so he don't get injured.
I'd be surprised if he doesn't do it, but maybe he's still.
Well, I mean, he's quite a fit lad, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's quite a fit lad.
Well, he's done exactly the right thing with Martial, and I think it's now about all he's going to do now is about preservation for the game on Tuesday.
I think McKenna's just got up to call someone.
We just don't have the trouble with the midfield is we don't have a lot of depth, and but you could bring Lingard on for Pogba.
Oh, Delay, unlucky. Bit of a wayward pass there by Herrera, but
I'm over
forgive him for that. He's had an excellent game.
3-0 up with 20 minutes to go in a game that we all needed to win it, but you never know. You never know in a game like this. And Fulham, I think Fulham started the game quite well, but.
They did, yeah. They had quite high intensity, didn't they, in the first 10, 15 minutes? Yeah. They didn't really create any major opportunities with their possession that they had. But they just sort of died down. I think the high press that they, like Paul mentioned, they just got tired. I mean, you can see now they're just playing it around, trying to work at space. And United, the energy levels from United to close the gaps have been really successful.
I think in the first 5 minutes,
great save to Gea.
Yeah, I think he's got his feet right for that. He's never going to get beat, but that's probably the first real chance that Fulham have had in this half.
Yeah, they had the Chambers shot as well, but it was pretty much key routine for De Gea, that one. But that one, he's flying like Superman. Lukaku totally didn't even have a first touch on that pass from Matic.
I always think it's a nice situation to be in when you're 3-0 up and you are moaning about
Tommy's coming on.
6
Pogba.
is Matic, isn't it?
Yeah.
No,
Here
Pogba.
It's Pogba coming
See,
on.
again, I think the substitutions are absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on.
Yeah. Do you know what? I really don't think you can fault him for taking these players off. You really can't. The game is won. fantastic performance. So yeah, give the young lad on just to hopefully see out the game and get a clean sheet.
It couldn't have gone any better for him so far. You know, the game's done and dusted by the 70th minute. You get your big players off and rest them.
Alexis is in. Straight out the keeper.
Feel sorry for him there, Sanchez.
There.
Yeah, he should have scored. Sanchez capitalising on a mistake by Fulham at the back. He does everything right. He shows the tenacity. He wins it. He gets through one-on-one. It bounces up for him, and it's a good save by the keeper. To be fair, he should have scored, but it's a good save by the keeper. And I feel sorry for Sanchez because, despite the fact that Lukaku and Sanchez have been very poor for United, I do want them to do well because I think the more players you've got doing well is the more options for United. So I can see us getting a fourth in this.
Yeah. Sanchez balling. It's McTominay just over the bar.
Well done, lad.
Would have been an instant impact.
You know what I would say about McTominay as well? He signed a long-term contract. I do hope we start to see from McTominay what the big deal is, because everyone keeps telling us Sir Alex, Mourinho, Carrick, Ollie, what a great player he is. And to be fair, there's nothing wrong with being harsh and saying what we've seen in McTominay in the last year has been pretty bang average at best. Some would say poor. But there's obviously something in him. And I really, really do hope we start seeing it, because he's been at the club since he's like 8 years old, I think. And he's from the youth. I want him to be good. My problem with McTominay is I haven't seen anything that makes me think, well, that's what he's all about. And I really hope that we do. And going back to Sanchez, I hope he starts playing well as well, because the more options we've got, the better. I just think you've got to go with Martial and Rashford as your front two, as your two players in that position. You can never go back to Sanchez and Lukaku.
Well, I mean, Mourinho saw McTominay as a CDM, didn't he, because of the height. So, but I mean, looking here, Ollie is playing him in a much more attacking role, exactly like Pogba was. So, mate, maybe Ollie thinks, no, you're not a defensive midfielder. I want you to attack. You got a decent shot on you.
Well, what we must also bear in mind is, though, I always used to moan about this when Martial would come off the bench and play well in the last 20 minutes. And I always used to say I want him to start and play well, because that's, Fulham are beating this game. They're tired. They should have scored. What a miss!
Hit the post, yeah.
Bloody hell! Babel on the back post. Well, that would have made it a little bit interesting. I don't know what goes wrong here, but cross comes in from that left-hand side. Surprise, surprise. And Jones nearly scores an own goal. Yeah. But it drops to Babel, who has an easy tap in and puts it wide off the post.
And that's his last action of the game. I think he's coming off.
So Sanchez should have scored for United. Babel should have scored for Fulham. It remains 3-0. But yeah, people like Sanchez and McTominay should be coming on and playing well. This game is stretched. Fulham are tired. They're well beaten. There's a lot of space. If you come on with a bit of tenacity and aggression, then you can come on and make an impact. I mean, I think that's been the problem with Lukaku in the last couple of games when he's come on as a sub. He's just not shown any desire. And, Sanchez and McTominay have come on with a bit about them, and you can make, that's how you work your way back into a team.
Yeah, I think it's clear on this performance. I think it's clear that Lukaku is nowhere near our main number 9. He just doesn't offer what Rashford does, and Rashford just symbolises the way United should play.
I tell you what, Rance said a few weeks ago, after we beat Arsenal Fan TV, he said I could do a better job up front than Lukaku. And obviously I took it with a massive pinch of salt, because I was like, obviously Lukaku's a professional footballer. From the bottom of my heart, I think he's probably right. I mean, Lukaku today has been like playing with 10 men. I know he had a part to play in that third goal, but he got lucky on the turn, and the pass was behind Mata, which is why he got the penalty. But for a number 9 for United, with all the space and chances we've had in this game, I think he's been very, very, very poor.
He has. He's been absolutely terrible. For me, he wasn't my ideal choice when we brought him in. I back him, obviously, because he's a United player, but I'd never in a million years thought he would make it at this club. And, he's had, 2 managers now. and he just looks the same. No matter what guy is going to be in charge, he just looks the same as what he does with Ollie as he was under Jose. There's no effort, there's no desire. It wouldn't surprise me if he hasn't even broken sweat on that pitch today.
Oh, he will have broken sweat because he's knackered after 5 minutes. But in a game like this,
I'm thinking about a burger or something.
To be honest, he's a number 9. He has got a good goal scoring record, and to play against a team like Fulham and not really even have a clear cut chance, with all the creativity and chances there's been, that says a lot about Lukaku at the moment. That he's not even been able to put himself in a position, because there's been a lot of times we've had the ball around the edge of the box, and people like Luke Shaw, Pogba, Martial, Mata, they've put their head up to have a look around, and all you can see is Lukaku with his hand up. There's not really any movement for us.
No, there isn't. He might have that good goal scoring record, but he had a decent record at Everton, but he was the main focal point of the team. He was probably the one person that stood head and shoulders above everyone else in that team. But whereas at United, we've got so many big players, so many players that can score goals, so many that get involved. We just don't need him. We just don't need that kind of player at the club, and he does not suit the way Ollie wants to play. He's not even good at. His first touch has been pretty decent today, but the layoffs that he's been doing have been absolutely terrible.
What a nice position to be in, though, that we are comfortable. We've got our two best players. Well, I think Herrera's been fantastic. We've got our two best players, tucked up in their tracksuits, thinking about PSG, and we're running the clock down with a comfortable 3 points that puts us into 4th place. It could not have gone any better for United today. And yeah, Lukaku's not been great, but we've sort of beaten Fulham with 10 men, technically, because and we've done it well. We've done very well.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to sound like Klopp, but conditions haven't been fantastic today either.
No, so, we've had to graft.
For them to come out. Well, I mean, the wind is absolutely terrible. We saw it when the corners were coming in. The ball was moving all over the place. But, it's absolutely chucking it down with rain there now.
I tell you what, if we can get a clean sheet as well, everyone, that would be the real icing on the cake of what has been a very, very good result for Manchester United. And here's Sanchez coming inside again.
Yeah, Sanchez just took a late one. Mata, McTominay. Just got out-muscled there on the edge of the box. Tominay's got it again. Luke Shaw.
Poor ball. Terrible cross.
Poor ball.
Rants will be on him for that. But no, I think Luke Shaw's been
in fairness to Luke Shaw, I think he's had a really good game as well. Again,
Fulham have had no joy down that side at all, have they?
No, exactly. The Luke Shaw and Martial combination is really, really decent, and I think that benefits Luke Shaw because he's not really had a proper player like that in front of him since. I mean, he had a good understanding with Memphis, didn't he? When Memphis was at the club. So to get that back for him is probably done him wonders for his confidence as well.
Well, I said 3-1 in this game, so I'll be very, very pleased if we get a clean sheet because I don't think anybody thought we'd get a clean sheet when they saw the team news. I mean, I think I predicted 3-1 on the preview, but if United can start keeping clean sheets again, and to be honest, Luke Shaw's been flawless down the left-hand side. Fulham have done nothing. I think Jones and Smalling started off a bit tetchy, but they've grown into it. And Delo has not been exploited as much as Ashley Young has been in the last couple of games. So yeah, really, really good. I can't really do my scores on the. I was doing like out of 10 so far in the game, but we are getting close to the end now, so I'll keep that for the match reaction. But relax, we're winning to Stewie Thunder. Yeah, it's a massive 3 points for United and 3-0 as well. It's a bit of a boost for the goal difference, which I haven't seen what United's goal difference is at the moment for a while because it was so bad that you always felt that it was an extra point for everybody else. But our goal difference would be plus 17. Arsenal's is 15. So, we're more or less better than Arsenal. and Chelsea's is 22. But if they get beat tomorrow, that's coming down. So moving in the right direction, and we're going to be fourth in 10 minutes. We're going to be fourth outright, which is just an amazing turnaround.
Delay, great ball in across the floor.
Lukaku was going to get a tap in. It's a
He
corner.
was. But yeah, I mean, talking about the goal difference there and everything else, it's such a turnaround in such a short space of time.
Bay's coming on.
Bay's coming on now for Herrera.
Yeah,
again.
Yeah, good substitutions again. Brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, I think today...
And the flip side about that, Marcus, and everyone at home, is that Lingard and Rashford haven't had a minute. We haven't even had to give them a minute. So it's a total rest, which is great.
Yeah, it is. They've had the whole day off, haven't they? The whole afternoon off. So, and Bay, been in and out of the team since the start of the season, starting to get a run now. He got a silly red card, which kept him out again. Ollie's just saying to Herrera there, "You're all right." Herrera saying, "Yeah." So Bay just coming to rock up that defence, make sure we get a clean sheet. So another fantastic change by Ollie.
Jones will move to the midfield, says Abanath. Brilliant sub, says KA. Bay's in the house, says Christoph.
Smalling nearly got on the end of that whipped in cross by Delo again on the right hand side. Great ball in, right across the face of goal.
Who was that putting that in, Mata?
I thought it was Delo because he was out on the right.
Yeah, just because it seemed to be whipped with the left foot.
Just under 5 minutes to go. I think once the first goal went in, Mark, I think it was quite comfortable for United, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's I think if it was 1-0 now, Fulham would still be thinking they've got a chance in the game. But it's been a textbook result for United. I think Fulham are a very bad team. We said they average over 2 goals a game. We've scored 3, so that's gone to plan. The clean sheet would be a huge bonus. The fact that it's the first teamers that have basically taken this game away from them has been good. And I think the positives for me would be Delo, Smalling and Jones. We've got depth in the back four now, and they've had 90 minutes, so that's good. I do worry about the midfield because we've got no depth there. But it's good header away from Smalling again. Strength. Still think Lingardino is a squad player, Mark, says McGill, 8888. Not at the moment. I think he has to become a squad player because I think we need to go and get a right-sided option. But at the moment, Lingard, it's the same as Matic, isn't it? I mean, Matic has got to play every single game, but I think in the summer we should be looking to improve in that area. But right now, Lingard's a first teamer, isn't he? Because we haven't got anybody else.
Well, definitely. I mean, obviously there are, I think apart from De Gea, Pogba, there's obviously better players in every position, so you can always improve. So yeah, I think a natural right-sided winger would be absolutely ideal for for United. I know you talk a lot about Lozano, Mark, didn't you? So
yeah,
I mean, someone of that mould, that sort of calibre, young, exciting, hungry. You got the Dembele lad as well. Quincy Promise. They're going to cost money, of course they are, but they are going to be. I mean, for Woodward and the Glazers, they'll be good investments, mate, and they will sell shirts as well. Fulham are in. Bay again. I mean, Bay, that's the third time already since he's been on. Oh, he's offside.
Well, this is the result we wanted. This is the result that we craved, and it actually, football very rarely goes to plan. But I don't think you could have planned it any better. To get players off, to have the game won, to rest players who've not even played, it's gone to plan. And this is what was meant to happen against Burnley at home, and it went very wrong. And we were all saying, he's made too many changes. So it's great that it's gone the other way. Abel Leon says, Mark, have you heard about Lozano to Napoli? No. It wouldn't surprise me if he went to Italy because Mino Raiola is his client, isn't he? But we're probably more interested in Bergwijn, to be honest with you. Who also
De Gea's having a go at Mitrovic here. Go on.
Yeah, De Gea
Mitrovic was a bit late on De Gea. People picked the ball up. I mean, there weren't nothing nasty about it.
We are now fourth in the table. Happy feelings, says Shantu Dar. Thank you, mate.
This will be interesting. Is he going to get a card out here? Yeah, he's getting a yellow out. Like De Gea and Mitrovic both carded.
Fight!
That's a rare thing to see De Gea getting a yellow. He's normally so quiet.
Yeah. I'm all for it. Bit of passion.
Yeah. De Gea's first yellow card of the season. I don't think there'll be much injury time. 2-3 minutes. Not really been any stoppages, I don't think.
Well, remember, we'll have Flex doing the fan cams afterwards. Interesting to see what the fans have got to say, especially ahead of that PSG game. Positivity Street. I think the more interesting thing is the wider story. The wider story of what he took over in mid-December and what we're going to be now. We're going to be fourth, aren't we? And as long as Man City beat Chelsea tomorrow, we still will be fourth.
3 minutes added on.
De Gea captain as well. I forgot about that. Getting involved in a bit of a scuffle, and he is the captain as well. Good to see.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't see Ashley Young doing that, would you?
No. He's not the most intimidating guy, is he, Ashley Young? Who is very, very small in real life. We didn't actually put Phil Jones into the midfield. We've gone three at the back. We've gone with a back five, to be fair.
Yeah, so we've got the back five. We've got McTominay, Mata and Matic just shielding. And Sanchez, well, it looks like a bit of a 5-4-1.
See, Lukaku's here, one-on-one.
And there's Lukaku's touch coming into play.
He is a terrible footballer. I mean, he's the only I can't wait to do the player rating scores on the match reaction because he is... I think Mata's been much better second half, but Lukaku... with a very consistently crap performance. You know, Delot definitely had a good second half as well.
Yeah.
Grown into the game.
I think second half of Delot has been absolutely fantastic. He's not had much defending to do, but what he has done, he's done considerably well.
Up against Sessegnon, who's a good player as well.
Yeah. Is he Portuguese, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And Kit Shammer says, how dare you, Mitrovic? That's God you're messing up with. And after seeing these results, do you think we can beat PSG? Says Pack376. I don't think this result has any bearing on PSG because there's so many people who aren't playing, who will play. Like Lingard and Rashford will play, which makes us totally different because not everything will be going through Martial like it did today. You can share the load. The back four will change. De Gea won't kick so many long balls because Lindelof can play out from the back, whereas Jones and Smalling can't. So, but the confidence we'll take from this will certainly have an impact. I mean, it's 11 games now. We're sort of tired of saying that, isn't that? But Sharath Kamath says Delot's improving every game. Who would be your man of the match, Marcus, quickly, because we'll be going straight into the match reaction. And
you know what? I mean, there's been a few good performances. Pogba, Martial, obviously. But I think for me, I don't think you can look past Herrera. To be honest, I think he's been absolutely fantastic again. Dogged, strong, always right place, right time. And he's been absolutely sensational this game. Picking up all the loose balls. He's played a couple of good balls over the top. I don't think he's misplaced a pass that I noticed. I think he's been fantastic. I really do. So, and it's game over. So,
well, thanks for coming on, pal.
Fantastic win for United. Yeah, no worries, mate. Pleasure as always. Thanks, everyone. And I'll see you Tuesday.
The Machine 94 says Smalling and Pogba best on the ground for me. I'll be giving you my man of the match, my thoughts on United in general. Lukaku obviously is going to be a talking point. Link in the video description for my match reaction. I'm going to be live there in about 30 seconds. We'll also be doing the player ratings, which I think is going to be quite interesting. So I'll see you on there in 30 seconds time. Match reaction link in the video description. See you in a moment.